digital debris, banging on the keys like a ghost in the machine. Angry kid, bad at every level, calling out the kings and the pixelated devils. Paradise is burning down, words of paradise, burning down the town. He talks, he fights, he stays up through the night. Paradise is burning down, words of paradise, he wears a digital crown. Digital crown. Burn it all down. Paradise. No more monsters, no more lies, no more games. Underneath the hollow skies, one man army against the flood, spilling out the data like his fresh blue blood.
Welcome back to the Lunch Hour. How are all you vital idols doing? Why is my camera askew? There we go. Much better. What is up? Wow. Did some fucking bombshell news drop last night. Look, we definitely going to get into that. We're going to check in on how Mary Morgan is doing, because we didn't roast her enough already. Apparently she made a response video yesterday. Man, what a good day. What a good day to be a vital fucking idol. Am I right? I hope you all are doing great for the lunch hour. Your boy got his, not green tea, I'm out of green tea, but black tea, Earl Grey tea, still zero sugar. Hope you're enjoying a nice classic lunch break. Hope you guys getting your protein. Get that protein on, eat you some fucking meat. Who we got up in this bitch? I see C-Brew, shout out. Anthony Way is here. Jackass G22's Mad Hatter. Genetic Spore is up in this bitch. Thallow Greenskin, you love to see it. We got CJV. That's all I'm gonna call you, CJV, because you out there looking like a fucking, robot from, a droid from Star Wars with a name like that. El Mervoth is in the house, Draconic is up in this bitch, Fractal Mage is here, Matt Stanford, Eagle Lord, Ronan the Crusader, Silver Angelics, what a turnout so far. Butter Framed in Gold, the Koto Dragon, even Vasnum. We got Vasnum, the goddamn king of Texas is here. I ain't seen you in a minute, Vasnum. Sevi with the heavies is up in this bitch. Shout out. War Wizard. Hey, what's up? How you doing, Rockin' Hound Dog? We got Gal Carrymon, Hypno, Suck My Dick. I really wanted to say Hypno, Suck My Dick after saying Hypno. Garrett Targaryen is here. Yeah, it's a Gundam. Gundam from Gundam Zero. Gotcha. Good to know. Rabnad Skubla is here. Felstef, Luffy John Jr., Scotty G. Alright, I can't keep naming names, guys. I can't keep naming names. I mean, that's just a lot of you. There's a lot of you, and I appreciate all y'all. You're absolute fucking legends. And yes, Hypno, the felt things will continue until morale improves. The felt things will continue until morale improves. Alrighty. So before we get into any of the heavy-hitting stuff, I wanted to watch this. Eric Daughtry says, wow, Joe Rogan reveals President Trump immediately offered him FDA approval for a psychedelic treatment in a text change because the data was so convincing and stunning. Now, if this is true, you know how awesome this is? If this is true, I say if this is true, it's like it's true in the sense that, yes, the meeting happened. Yes, Joe Rogan was in the Oval Office. Yes, there have been articles about it. I've not seen the footage yet. Now, how fast this like actually gets approved and whatnot, gets pushed through, that's up for debate. I mean, it's still fucking big pharma at the end of the day. But it's still awesome to hear. So let's take a listen to this, right? Let's take a listen to this and celebrate some dubs for some psychedelic healthcare.
I want to tell everybody how this happened. I sent President Trump some information. We have a gigantic opiate problem in this country, obviously. In 2024, more than 80,000 people died of overdoses. It's a horrible number. And there's more than 5 million people that are addicted to opiates right now in this country. With one dose of Ibogaine, more than 80% of people are free of that addiction.
Correct. He is absolutely correct. Obviously, I mean, is Joe Rogan. He's going to fucking know this shit. But that is true.
With 2 doses, it's more than 90%. I sent him that information. The text message came back, sounds great. Do you want FDA approval? Let's do it.
I wish he'd have done his Trump impression there. I'm gonna be real. He's sitting there. He's in the Oval Office. We've heard him do his. I wish Joe Rogan would have been like, you know, if the text chain came through, when you want FDA approval, sounds great. It's like you had a primo opportunity, but no. I guess he has comedian mode turned off right now. I guess fair, understandable. He's so tiny. They made the right call putting him in the middle. He's so tiny. Like, I always thought, for the longest time, I thought Joe Rogan would be the perfect live-action Nappa. Like, if they were going to do Dragon Ball live-action, Joe Rogan would be a great Nappa. And then I realized he's, like, 5'2". He's not really that short. He's my height. He's 5'8". But even so, yo, shout out who we got up in this bitch. We got Sebrew with a 2-banger. YouTube won't let me call you gay. Well, YouTube might not let you call me gay, but I'll let you call me gay. You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Literally that quick. These drugs are illegal not because they're harmful. They're illegal because of the 1970 Controlled Substances Act that was passed.
Correct. They're not just because of the 1970 Controlled Substances Act. That Controlled Substances Act, deemed them as harmful because they're actually beneficial, and Big Pharma would lose money. That's the real. Big Pharma would lose money with these natural cures.
Passed by the Richard Nixon administration. They did it to target the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement. It's not because these drugs harm people. And for 56 years, we've lived under those terrible conditions. We're free of that now. We're free of that now. Thanks to all these people that we see next to me, and thanks to President Trump.
I want to thank you.
You love to see it, boys. You'll love to see it. That's that good shit. Like, again, I still hate the fucking government. This ain't gonna change that. But I'll give them accolades if and when shit's done right. And I do think that this is potentially a very good thing. So, all in all, just wanted to, before we get into all the L's, or maybe you can call those, what we're about to get into, dubs as well. Kind of depends on how you look at it. I really wanted to spotlight that as a straight up dub. Got my dad off heroin when I was 16 years old. Based. Absolutely based. You want to know what is not based? You want to know what is not based? Democrat-ran NGOs. Democrat-ran NGOs. Breaking. Acting AG Blanche and FBI Director Patel announced that a grand jury has indicted the leftist NGO Southern Poverty Law Center on 11 counts. This is massive. SPLC said they were fighting white supremacy, but they were manufacturing the extremism it purports to expose. Oh! Oh, really? So you telling me the gamer chud in the backwards hat with a fucking Dragon Ball T who's been saying this shit since Gamergate was right? Color me fucking shocked. This is exactly why y'all need to put some tips in the I fucking called it fund. Uh-huh. Yeah, looks like the Democrats were manufacturing hate crimes. I'm shocked.
I am shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
Yep, guess Charlottesville was all bullshit now, wasn't it? Let's take a look. Let's take a gander.
Good afternoon. Today, a few minutes ago, in the Middle District of Alabama, a grand jury returned an 11-count indictment charging the Southern Poverty Law Center with 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of bank fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. According to the charges in the indictment, the SPLC is a nonprofit entity that purports to fight white supremacy.
Non-profit. It's an NGO. It's a non-profit. If you're not making any money, then why you need to commit fraud? Isn't that one thing? Conspiracy to commit fraud? Isn't that what he just said? What's the point in committing fraud if you ain't making no money?
And racial hatred by reporting on extremist groups and conducting research to inform law enforcement groups with the goal of dismantling these groups.
Interesting. So you mean they need to use all this money that they're not pocketing in any way, shape, or form to fight white supremacy that doesn't even exist? I'm real confused about that. Funny story time for you guys. But first, War Wizard came in with a 2-banger. Alex Jones was right. Good job listening to him. And one other funny thing, didn't even get that from Alex Jones. This shit was being talked about by the skeptic community and whatnot that's why I brought up Gamergate, during OG Gamergate. Dude, by the time Trump was elected and all this white supremacy bullshit was happening, you realize how many Gamergaters like, yeah, this is bullshit. This is just like what happened with with Gamergate, with all this fake journalism, fake activism, all this stuff, just sleeping around, trying to get tips, trying to get leads, lack of journalistic integrity. It was literally just Gamergate on a political activist racism based scale. But Alex Jones is base as fuck, so yes. I'll murmur up for a 2-banger. Should be placing bets every time Alex Jones is right. I mean, yeah, but we'd all place bets on that, so the payout would be nothing. The payout would be less than the 2-banger you just sent me, homie. That being said, yeah, story time. Now, I don't remember. It had to be around 2008. It was either right after Obama was elected the first time, or right before he was elected, and it was during his campaign. I was in civics class. And we were talking about the KKK. And Coach Sleeper, because it's civics in the Midwest. It's always a coach. But no, my teacher, Coach Sleeper. That was an accidental rhyme. God, I'm cultural appropriating rap. White supremacy. He told us that there are 11,000 known card-carrying KKK members. 11,000. In a country of over 300 million people. Huh. Seems like a really low number. Now, I don't know. Obviously, again, this was like 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. So it's been almost 20 fucking years. But 11,000 is a really small number to be spending all this money to fight against. Now, I get it. That's just the KKK. There's other organizations out there. There's biker gangs, not necessarily part of the KKK. There's neo-Nazi movements, the whole nine. Obviously, when you look at actually the demographics and stuff, it's going to be more than 11,000. But 11,000 members of the KKK over the whole country. Over the whole country. And yet, how much money we spend fighting these yahoos? Which, by the way, have the right to exist. They just don't have the right to go out and actually, do any lynchings or whatnot. They can get together in the little clubhouses and drink their shitty fucking whiskey and talk about how much they want to lynch black people, as long as they don't actually do it. So that's neither here nor there. But the point is, 11,000. That's crazy.
As the indictment describes, the SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred. The indictment describes this conduct in detail, but one troubling example is that the SPLC was paying a member of the leadership group that planned the Unite the Right protest in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017.
Oh, really? Really? Charlottesville was a hoax? You mean Charlottesville was a leftist plant all along?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Guys, I feel like we're going to be using that clip a lot today. So you're telling me that the event that gave rise to the "there were good people on both sides" hoax, which Trump never said, well, technically he said those words, but in a completely different context, that the left ran with for over a decade, or almost a decade, to the point where even Joe Biden used it in the debate leading up to the 2024 election. Joe Biden still tried to run with that, even though it had been debunked a gajillion times. That particular event turns out was actually orchestrated by leftists this whole time. And the Gamergate guy in the fucking anime shirt knew it? Uh-huh. Elmer Bob, the two-banger, says, now examine certain protests. J6, Black Lives Matter, exactly. Bingo, bango, bongo. Isn't it strange that during the height of lockdowns, you were still allowed to go outside and protest, but you couldn't go grab a fucking Mickey D's burger? Pretty weird, guys!
That resulted in the death of one person and injured dozens more. This particular person being paid by the SPLC allegedly received approximately $270,000 over the course of 8.
$270,000. Man. Now look, I ain't saying I would sell out my president, country, and white brethren for $270,000. That number's way too low. What I am saying is that for a lot of low-class folk, a lot of low-income folk, that's a life-changing money. To be fair, that'd be life-changing money for me as is. But that's neither here nor there. $270,000. You know, back in the post 9/11 days in 2003, 2005, $300,000 was the lower tier end of rich. Maybe not wealthy, but rich. Now, obviously, that's not the case. 2017, 2025, the whole nine. My point is, paid almost $300,000 to a single individual, made him what would have been effectively straight up rich simply 20 years ago, and it's now being used to stoke the flames of division and media lies and secrecy and obfuscation and hypocrisy plaguing this fucking nation. Oh, it's all these radical right-wing white supremacists. It was fake. And we've been saying it was fake. C-Brew with a two-banger. Everybody got a price. Ted DeVice. I don't know if I said his name right, but shout out. True. Thank you for the two-banger.
Years. In total, according to the indictment, between 2014 and 2023, SPLC paid at least $3 million to 8 individuals at least. These individuals were affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan.
They're paying millions to the KKK. Now, at least that one makes sense. At least that one makes sense, because the KKK are Democrats. The KKK was started with Democrats. The KKK are the fucking leftists. So at least this time they're paying their own people. But I mean, these KKK members pretend to be right-wingers. Shout out to the runaway vagabond with a 5-banger. Most nonprofits don't solve problems. That way they can keep getting funding. Correct.
United Klans of America, National Socialist Movement, Aryan Nations Affiliated Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club, the Nationalist Socialist Party of America.
So the left paid the actual, the literal Nazis, the Nationalist Socialist Party of America, the actual Nazi party, neo-Nazi party, but the actual neo-Nazi party, the left, that have spent the last 14 years calling people like you and me Nazis, because we just don't want ugly broads in video games, because we don't want, unqualified black pilots that haven't actually gone through all the proper training and whatnot they need, but they're gonna fly fucking Boeing 747s. And we say, hey, maybe if you're gonna hire a black dude, make sure he's perfectly qualified. They've been calling us Nazis for that, when they paid $3 million to the actual neo-Nazi party in America. Again, boys, again, is this your girlfriend's phone number? 'Cause I fucking called it!
Nazis and the American Front. Now, as the indictment lays out, After SPLC paid members of these extremist groups, it created work product that reported on these activities that the members participated in or contributed to. And to that end, it was doing the exact opposite of what it's told its donors it was doing.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Look at that. Look at that. Now I want to hear what Kershaw had to say about it. I do. So this is pretty much the same speech. But I want to hear what Faksu got to say about it.
As the indictment describes, the SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred. The indictment describes this conduct.
Okay, or maybe she ain't gonna say shit. We'll keep listening. We might be listening twice now. Say something, you dumb fox broad. Fuck!
In detail, but one troubling example is that the SPLC was paying a member of the leadership group that planned the Unite the Right protest in Charlotte.
Sure, don't say anything. Just make your little fucking anime foxy eyes bigger. That's technically a reaction, I suppose.
Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017 that resulted in the death of one person and injured dozens more.
Holy shit!
Why are you acting surprised? Kershaw, why are you acting surprised? This is what you've been talking about. This is what I've been talking about. This is what we've all been talking about. This should be the most, like, just deadpan, I told you so, of her entire streaming career.
Particular person being paid by the SPLC allegedly received approximately $270,000 over the course of 8 years.
What the fuck? That's $270,000 over the course of 8 years was enough to sell out your fucking country?
Did I not make the exact same fucking analogy? I'm pretty sure I literally said to sell out your country. I also said a lot more than that, like white brethren and whatnot, because that's funny. But yes, that is the correct response. To sell out your country.
Who the fuck were they paying? Whoever the fuck they were paying, I think should be strung up before any politicians get strung up, man. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's insane!
In total, according to the indictment, between 2014 and 2023, SPLC paid at least $3 million to 8 individuals at least. These individuals were affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan, United Klans of America, National Socialist Movement, Aryan Nations affiliated Sadistic Souls Motorcycle Club, the Nationalist Socialist Party of America.
Now I gotta say, Sadistic Soul is a pretty sick name for a motorcycle. Sadistic Soul is a pretty goddamn good name for a motorcycle club.
America, Nazis, and the American Front. Now,
the SPLC was paying for all of that?
And there it is, boys. So apparently Kershaw didn't have near as much interesting to say as I thought she would. But you know what? At least we got to hear that a second time for some of the people that are a little bit more slow. Some of the people, the left could never. Oh, well, they fucking did. They fucking did. And to be fair, this don't mean the right. You know how I feel about the left-right paradigm. It's all the fucking uniparty. They're all the devil. Left, right, doesn't matter. But in this instance, oh, this was the left, boys. This is a leftist-funded NGO. An NGO, a non-government organization. As if there's such a fucking thing. We live in the most amazing timeline. We do. We live in the most amazing timeline. Every single conspiracy theory that I believed and ascribed to of the last decade and a half of my life is turning out to be true. God damn it, I'm so good. Whether anything changes or not, D-Stock, kind of irrelevant. Because you're right. I doubt anything will change. But the validation of being like, I fucking told you, it's a nice little consolation prize. Nice little consolation prize. Scotty G, I do believe in the Mothman. We haven't figured that one out yet. I haven't proven he's real, but I do believe it. I believe the Mothman is real. He's one of the only cryptids I believe is real. But I do believe he is real. But yeah, Anthony Way, makes me feel good. Makes me feel real fucking good. When you spend years calling CNN the Commie News Network, when you spend years saying that Fox News is not right-wing propaganda, they are actually just left-wing propaganda 6 months behind. Yeah. Yeah, it feels real fucking good. When you spend all that time saying there's actual, real, independent content creators on YouTube that are telling you the real facts that the news isn't covering, that the news is actually covering up. When you've had people trying to blow the whistle on Epstein on the internet for God knows how long, but it's being covered up by both sides. Oh yeah, baby. Boy gets himself a little rock hard in the nipplage area. War Wizard for a 5-banger. They paid the National Socialist Party. I did not see that coming. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Stop it. Get some help.
Appreciate you, War Wizard. Appreciate you. Shout out San Lonlo. You say you have the same shirt. I have a Dragon Ball shirt for each day of a 31-day month. At least, by the way. At least. I don't wear all of them because I don't think they all look good on me, but I wanted to have at least one Dragon Ball shirt for every day of the month. That way, if I so decided, I could wear a Dragon Ball shirt every single day of the month. Yeah, that's a true Leon fact, by the way. I'm not making that up. I actually do, in fact, have at least 31 Dragon Ball shirts. So if I wanted to go a full Dragon Ball month, I could do it. Alrighty, crew. The gloating for that, I think the gloating for that's passed. That was a nice little amuse-bouche for today's stream. Probably more than Dragon Ball. Nice. Probably more than 31. Nice. Still feel like I still like the Hell's Angels. See, but Hell's Angels, that's such a basic name, right? I like it. It's fine. They're the numero uno, number one under the sun. Everyone knows about the Hell's Angels. But like Galloping Gooses. Not everybody knows about the Galloping Gooses. Not Galloping Geese. Motorcycle Club. Galloping Gooses. And they hardcore, bro. They fucking hardcore. That's a cool shirt. The Galloping Gooses. Do I have a Gundam shirt? No, I don't have a Gundam shirt. I've only ever seen one Gundam, and it was Gundam Wing. Which I really liked, mind you. I've got, when it comes to anime shirts, I've got Skate the Infinity. I got a couple JoJo shirts. God knows how many Dragon Ball shirts. Berserk shirts. Goblin Slayer shirts. Soul Eater shirts. I know I have more than that. Come on. Right? I got a Hunter x Hunter hoodie. I know I got more than that. Why can't I think? Several Naruto shirts. Yeah, I got plenty. I got a Kiki's Delivery Service shirt. Did I watch Sons of Anarchy? No, I did not, because I figured that show was going to be way too close to how I actually grew up, and it would, Oh, I've got several One Piece shirts. Yeah, several One Piece shirts. But no, Sons of Anarchy, I figured would be way too similar to a lot of shit I saw growing up, so I was like, I'll probably just skip this one. She's pop culture, not gaming. She's honestly not the brightest ball. No. Gaming is pop culture. Gaming is pop culture means popular culture. Savvy Love, I only have one Billy Idol shirt. I need more, actually. I've only got one Billy Idol shirt. I got a couple conspiracy shirts, yeah. I have a couple conspiracy shirts. I have a LimeWire shirt. I paid money for a shirt with the logo and the imagery on it for a site we use to illegally download music. So weird. So bass-ackwards. Band tees? I used to have so many band tees. I don't have near as much anymore. Got a couple Gorillaz shirts, Billy Idol shirts, Falling in Reverse shirts. Who else? Matchbox 20 shirt. Who else? I know I got several. I used to have a whole lot more. I do remember Napster. D-Stock? I do remember Napster. No, I'm not a big Slipknot guy. I don't dislike Slipknot. I like Corey Taylor solo. Or not solo, but Stone Sour more than I actually like Slipknot. Slipknot's fine. I don't dislike them, but they're never like my go-to. If someone else pops them on or we're in the car or whatnot, I'll absolutely get down some Slipknot, but they're never one of my like go-tos. I don't like Pink Floyd. Sorry, Shadow Buster, I don't like Pink Floyd. I think Pink Floyd is actually supremely fucking overrated. Now you got me thinking. What other ones do I have? Shit. I know I got more band tees than that. I used to have an unimaginable band tee collection. Oh, I always get a shirt for every concert I go to. So I've got Baby Metal shirts, Beck shirts. I guess you could technically say I've got 2 Billy Idol shirts because I bought a T-shirt from the Billy Idol and Beck concert I went to together. So they're both on the back. Billy Idol and Beck. So I've technically got a Beck shirt. Got a shirt that's got Smash Mouth, Sugar Ray, Uncle Kracker, and Better Than Ezra, and Eve 6, I think, all on the same shirt because I saw all 5 of them together. Yeah, Zax, and like Pink Floyd, not that great. They got, I think, exactly one song I enjoy. I enjoy Comfortably Numb, and that's about it. I don't have a Metallica shirt. I used to have a giant Metallica like that One Piece one right there. Only it was Metallica. I used to have a giant Metallica tapestry. I think I do still have it. It's just in storage. Sugar Ray, man, I saw a long time ago with Goo Goo Dolls and Fastball. I would love to see Goo Goo Dolls live. They're one of my favorite. Goo Goo Dolls is legitimately one of my favorite bands. I used to have a Korn shirt. Don't anymore. Let's see. I used to have several Bon Jovi shirts, Zeppelin shirts, Black Sabbath shirts, Guns N' Roses shirts, AC/DC shirts. I had so many fucking AC/DC shirts. I had so many AC/DC shirts. I don't know what Amon Amarth is, but that reminds me I had an Aerosmith shirt. Bowling for Soup shirts. Bowling for Soup's another one of my favorite bands. Trying to think of all the bands I've seen live, because I know I would have shirts from them. Disturbed. Saw Disturbed and Pop Evil live, so I got their concert tee. That's somewhere. When I saw Falling in Reverse, they were with Papa Roach and Hollywood Undead, but I don't think I got Papa Roach or Hollywood Undead shirts. I just got the Falling in Reverse concert tee. Do you still have those Billie Eilish condoms? Funnily enough, so I didn't like that they made me break out in a rash. There's something on those Billie Eilish condoms that I think I might be allergic to. Breaking Benjamin? Nah, I can't stand Breaking Benjamin. I actually think Breaking Benjamin's incredibly overrated. They're such a radio-friendly, fake hardcore band. Lacuna Coil's a great band. Yeah, we were talking about them in the Discord a couple days ago. I didn't even realize they were still together. I didn't even realize Lacuna Coil was still together. Yeah, I love that Alien shirt. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I've got several Blink-182 shirts because I was a dumb, liberal gay boy back in high school with Blink-182, which was cool. 3 Days Grace was awesome until Adam Gontier left, and then they got the lead singer from, not The Darkness, My Darkest Days, and I did not like them. I liked Adam's solo stuff, and then when Adam Gontier came back, I didn't know, so I've not heard their new stuff. I was listening to 3 Days Grace before they were 3 Days Grace. They used to be a band called called Groundswell, and I was listening to them back when they were Groundswell, before they even changed their name to 3 Days Grace. One of my thoughts on Shinedown? I got into a fight with the lead singer of Shinedown's cousin in a bar like a decade ago because I didn't know he was the cousin of the lead singer of Shinedown, and I was talking ridiculous shit on them. Apparently, the lead singer of Shinedown is from my area. Did not know that. And I was talking some mad shit on Shinedown in a bar. Guy right next to me was lead singer's cousin. No, we're not best friends. I never even really saw him again after that night. Oh, Darren Gray would be a great concert. I'd love to see Darren Gray. Did I win the fight? Neither of us won the fight. Got broken up because he was at a bar. I don't know a lot about Slayer. I like all the songs I know by Slayer, but that's very few. I would not in any way, shape, or form call myself a Slayer fan. So, but the songs I know by Slayer, I do like, yes. Should have been in a Waffle House. My first job, you mean? Motorhead. Same with Motorhead as I feel about Slayer. The songs I know by Motorhead I like. I think Lemmy was an incredible musician, but I would not ever call myself a fan because I don't listen to him enough or know enough about him. I'm very, very particular about whether I call myself a quote-unquote fan of a band or not, because I feel like if you don't know, or if you don't listen to any of the non-radio friendly hits or the non-poppy hits or things like that, then you can't call yourself a fan. You gotta be able to list more than 5 songs, and at least half of those afterwards need to be things that were not hits. You need to be able to name albums. You need to be able to name songs in order on the albums. You need to fucking own the albums. So, yeah, no, I'm very particular what I consider myself a fan of, because I don't want to be no filthy fucking tourist. Yeah, I would love to see Darren Gray. NSYNC, I think of NSYNC the same way I think of Motorhead, which is a very weird sentence. The songs I know by them I like, but I don't know that many. I'm very musically diverse. I listen to pretty much anything except for country. I listen to pretty much anything but country. And even country, I have some things I'll listen to. I love Dolly Parton. She's about as far as it goes, but that breaks my no country rule. Alrighty. We've talked about music for a hot minute. Let's get into roasting this dumb hoe. Let's get into roasting this fake, trad, Catholic Puritan moron. You guys have all seen this by now. We're not going to focus on this too much. I want to focus on some responses to it, and apparently she put out a response video. Lots of strange reactions to this game. Let's clear some things up. Childless men do not have paternal instincts the way that childless women have maternal instincts. We observe this even in the way little girls play versus little boys. She is objectively wrong here, but that's neither here nor there. Men first experience paternal instincts once they have their own children. Again, objectively wrong. And typically those paternal instincts are only ever felt for their own children, no one else's. Again, objectively wrong. It's actually kind of stunning how many times she manages to be wrong in just this one post. Men are not nurturers. Wrong. Men don't gush over cute kids in public. Wrong. I've done that multiple times, even before I had a kid. Men don't have baby fever. Wrong. If a man wants to possess a child for any reason other than being a product of his own lineage, he is likely a predator. What? Wrong. Swear I'm getting Goonergate flashbacks, but dumber. Oddly enough, this is actually dumber. Correct. You'd be taking the feminist, radical, gender abolitionist position to protest any of the above points. No. You'd be taking the biologically and common sense position to disagree with these. She's making me more misogynistic? Good. If I can't radicalize you guys in misogyny, then hopefully this dumb slut does. This should explain why a dad simulator game marketed to mostly childless men gives people the creeps. Vex fucking cooked this hoe. My girl Vex, in 1/10 of the character count, destroyed this bitch. Color me absolutely shocked that a female conservative influencer calling fatherless men predators for liking a video game is also willingly plays up the lolly aesthetic on her socials. Wow. And y'all know me, you know I ain't got no issue with lollies. I don't give a fuck. You know me, I quite support that shit. The lolly art style. Not like lolicon weirdness in terms of like people gooning over art. I think that's weird in general. But the point is, dude, Vex cooked her. Fucking cooked her. But it's not just my girl Vex. Mugen Lord came out with what might be the most wholesome, angry post I've ever. I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't even know you could wholesome, angry post, and yet my boy Mugen Lord did. Who the fuck is Mary Morgan? And does she have any children of her own? Men don't have baby fever. She's not a man. How the fuck does she know if a man has baby fever or not? I have a daughter who will turn 18 next year. Now here's the dealio, guys. I don't know how much you guys know about Mugen Lord. Mugen Lord, my boy. I fucking love this guy, alright? Mugen Lord is an OG. It doesn't matter if we're on stream or off stream. Dude fucking dotes on his daughter. He talks about his goddamn daughter every chance he gets. He is... I mean, y'all want to talk about breaking stereotypes. If he was the first black father I'd ever met, frankly, he'd probably be the only one. But the point is, I wouldn't even believe in the stereotypes of black fathers not being around. I'm just saying, Mugen Lord is a goddamn best dad on the internet. That's all I'm saying. Yes, El Mervoth. Perfect comparison. Dude, Mugen Lord is the Black Maze Hughes. Absolutely. I have a daughter who will turn 18 next year. She's my only child. My daughter's about to leave the nest, and it's already hitting me. I've been having baby fever for the past few months now, and it's insane. I love being a father. I want to make more babies. When my college bro and his wife recently had a baby, they came to visit me and placed that baby in my arms. And it was too much. It brings a smile to my face when I see families with their children. It's always the childless, single, manless, cobweb ovaries women who have the most to say about men. We are fucking human too, and we have emotions. We aren't robots void of emotion. Yes, men are nurturing. I've been raising my daughter by myself since she was a year old. She's smart, well-disciplined, and not pregnant like the girls around her at school. If she lived with her mother, she'd be the opposite, completely damaged, out on the streets chasing bum-ass niggas. And I can say that because I'm quoting my boy here, and he would not give a fuck. Look at this. Look at this wholesome shit right here. Single father doting on his daughter that he has been raising for 17 fucking years. Legend. Absolute legend. Fuck this dumb Mary Morgan broad, bro. Fuck this dumb Mary Morgan broad. Again, cooked her. Cooked her! You'll love to see it. Support my boy Morgan Lord, by the way, if you guys don't. His YouTube channel is amazing. He's been on the show, I don't know how many times. And then old Beanie Boy had to come in and try and run defense. Old Beanie Boy had to come in and try and run defense, despite the community note, despite the public backlash, despite the common sense. I don't know what asbestos is in Homeboy's headwear, but it is fucking with his mental. Not that I respect him too terribly much anyway. Mary is correct in tendency. I think people are taking her point to some extreme end. Despite the community note, I would still argue women are substantially more baby crazy than men, and that Mary is generally correct in her assessment. Bitch, she never said tendency! She never said, she made an absolute statement. She didn't say most childless men. She didn't say childless men don't on average. She made the absolute statement of childless men do not have paternal instincts. What the fuck you mean correct in tendency? Dude is retarded! It's almost impressive how retarded he is, which is why we got to see what she had to say. Mary Morgan came out and she made a damn near 20-minute response video over the backlash she'd been getting about this tweet. So guys, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I had a hot take earlier today on X.
I'm glad you had a hot something because, whew, look what's going on here. Not good.
But let's get into it here. I think we can have a better discussion away from X about this.
Something tells me, guys, it's not going to be a better discussion. I don't know what it is, but something tells me it's not going to be a better discussion. El Mervat for the 2-banger says, my retort, claim more baby fiend yet aborted 1 mil. Ooh, rough.
So a Japanese video game studio called Capcom just published a new title over the weekend, which is
a Japanese studio, video game company called Capcom. You could just say, yo, Capcom did this. People know Capcom has been famous longer than you have been alive. Probably twice as long as you've been alive. Anyway, I'm nitpicking, but she's retarded.
It's called Pragmata or Pragmata. I still don't know how to pronounce it.
You've never heard of Capcom before?
I have heard of Capcom.
Okay.
Okay, I was not nitpicking, because he called her out on it too. It's like, the way you phrase that is really strange. The fact that her co-host also questioned her, never mind. I feel valid. Wasn't a nitpick.
Yes. I'm just saying that in case someone else hasn't.
Oh, okay.
Set on a lunar research station, the game follows spacefarer Hugh and android Diana as they work together to fight a hostile AI known as Edis.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce that either. That is controlling the station and to return to Earth. So this came out over the weekend, and now it's become a massive debate online about whether this game is creepy or perhaps even predatory toward the child character Diana. Who, by the way, in case that wasn't clear, is merely an android that appears to be a child.
And yet somehow you appear more childlike. Maybe it's because of your cognitive disabilities, but you appear more childlike.
A human child in the game. So you play as Hugh, and you are...
Shout out to my boy Cider. Cider making it in the big times. He's now being viewed by who knows how many hundreds of people. And I say hundreds because, guys, Pop Culture Crisis doesn't pull numbers. Pop Culture Crisis, a show under the Tim Pool umbrella, pulls less numbers than our boy Hypnotic. Just saying. They might pull less numbers than me. I don't know, actually. They might even pull less numbers than me. But I've actually ran their numbers compared to Hypno's, and Hypno fucking dwarfed them. So Hypno be out doing pop culture, someone under the Tim Pool umbrella. Shout out our boy Hypno.
Basically the protector or guardian of this character, Diana. And people are debating about the character design for this.
No one's debating about it. No actual person's debating about it. Retards and troglodytes, mongoloids, maybe even, are debating about it. People aren't. And D-Stock, no one gives a fuck. That's not what we're talking about right now. No one gives a fuck about Sphere Hunter. No one gives a fuck about that shitty tranny right now. We're talking about this. Is that Bella Ramsey's sister? Damn! Shout out, Sebrew.
Little girl, but also not, because it's a robot, and they have this highly stylized version of it too for both Hugh and Diana. People are saying that they made Diana too adult-like in her facial features. There is definitely some merit to that, in my opinion. You can see that there is like eyeliner on her eyes. She has like a huge volume of hair, which I wouldn't say is characteristic of children in real.
You would be objectively wrong. Dude, my little sister didn't get her first haircut until she was like 7 years old or something. 9 years old, something like that. My little sister had hair down to almost the floor when she was like 7 years old. Like this girl is supposed to be what? This android is supposed to represent like 7, 8-year-old, maybe 6, like somewhere in that range. Yeah, you don't give the kid a haircut, and this is what it fucking looks like. My own sister literally, her hair's brown, but even so, had the same fucking hair.
Real life, but again, maybe it's not meant to be realistic. I don't think that it's sexualizing the character, personally. A lot of people think that because they are seeing some very real participation from actual creeps online.
Yeah.
In this conversation, a lot of people are making
exactly,
jokes.
Sev.
Maybe they're partly serious about modding the game to sexualize Diana, which I think is disgusting, obviously. And there is definitely...
Yes, you are seeing a handful of creeps on the internet do the creepy things that the creeps on the internet do. Now, guys, obviously that's not fucking okay, but also let's look at this realistically. These weirdos are gonna go into shit regardless. There are people that got sexual attractions to fucking pencil sharpeners. Alright? That's weird. I don't know who the fuck wants to stick their dick in a pencil sharpener. But it's real. It's a thing. Yeah, there's gonna be some weirdos out there. Why call attention to it? You only muddy the waters.
I haven't seen it myself, but people have said they have seen some sexualized, explicit illustrations of this character already making the rounds on Reddit and other forums that have been banned, which again is really gross. But I guess that's just gonna happen no matter what, because there are creeps everywhere online.
Exactly. So why do you bring it up further? And then why do you take it to the extreme of then blaming men, saying dumb shit like childless men don't have nurturing instincts? So not only are you going to say like, oh, creeps are everywhere, there's always going to be creeps on the internet. Great. So you understand that. Somehow, your pea brain that's been fried with too much bottle job dye understands that. But you still said the dumb shit to attack men because you were a fake conservative. You are a covert feminist, probably slut, if I had to guess, or at least reformed slut. I never seen no fucking e-thought with those bangs that wasn't at the very least a reformed slut.
And they're going to do what they're going to do. But as far as the game studio is concerned, there's now a theory that this game is a subtle ploy to increase the birth rates in both Japan and in the West.
Entirely possible, by the way. Hey, she can laugh at this all she wants. Japan has literally been doing propaganda because Japan's below replacement rate. You think America's below replacement rate, which we are. We're not near as bad. Japan, way below replacement rate. South Korea, don't get me started on South Korea. South Korea, if they don't fix some shit now, they will be gone in 80 years. 80 years. Hypothetically, depending on how good our technology gets, 80 years, I'd be a little over 100 years old, right? I'd be a little over 100 years old. Depending on how good our technology gets, hypothetically, I could still end up being alive. Now, let's be real, with the way that I drink and smoke and talk to people in ways I shouldn't talk to, and eventually one of them's going to have a gun or a knife or something. The point is, I'm probably not living to 110. But hypothetically, I could live to see a time when South Korea just straight up does not exist. Japan's not far behind. They're that below replacement rate. Whole reason I'm bringing all this up, Japan has been running several pieces of propaganda. I don't know about psyops, but definitely propaganda to increase the birth rate. To increase the birth rate. They've been, it has been common knowledge since like 2017 at least that Japan has been trying to do that. So, and by the way, yes, that is good. I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. For those of you, because Solzan says that's good. Yes, it is good. I'm not, if it came off as negative, no. I think this is a great thing for Japan to do. I think America should be doing it as well. The point is, putting out a video game like this as part of a centralized government strategy to try and get people to feel baby fever and want to fuck, I think that's a good thing.
By encouraging the person playing to activate their paternal instincts, one response to this game said that it is, what did they say? Let me read this in their words.
Okay.
It is secretly Japan's clever plan.
UAF Omega for a 2-banger. Total rectal inversion is what's gonna get you early. Ew.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Normally, I thank everybody for every super chat, but I don't know that was worth $2, man. I don't know that was worth $2. Ew, brother, ew.
To fight their birth rate crisis.
But thank you for the 2-banger.
Another one said it's a Japanese ploy to bring out the built-in dad instinct of male gamers and increase birth rates worldwide. So that's why some people are calling it a dad simulator game. That's not how it's being marketed, but...
First of all, that is how it's being marketed. Second, people are calling it a dad simulator game in a facetious manner. In a facetious manner. Because we call everything an XYZ simulator. How are you going to call yourself Pop Culture Crisis and not know the lingo of us saying, oh, XYZ thing is a blank simulator? That is just normal new gen, unfortunately, but normal new gen speak. No, this game was not made in Korea. It's made by Capcom. Capcom's a Japanese company. This dog, not male in gender, so what he means is this bitch is water-brained as fuck. For real.
It would fit into the same genre as the Last of Us games or the Walking Dead game in that way, where you're the...
I don't know who fed her these notes, because she's correct, but I know goddamn way she knew that on her own.
The guardian or the caregiver of this young female character. If the argument is that the cuteness of Diana as a character is going to increase birth rates, I think that's like obviously not true. That's not going to happen.
First of all, that's not what's being said. Second, yes, it would. Yes, propaganda to increase baby fever will in turn, if done successfully, increase babies. If you put yourself in a situation where you are simulating protective fatherly instincts, that absolutely could increase birth rates 100%. Especially amongst the Japanese, where, at least hopefully, they don't have these dumbass feminists, like fourth wave feminist bitches that are refusing to have kids.
But they're, circulating these clips of especially female streamers playing this game, and they're brought to tears by the cutscenes of Diana, like, drawing a picture of her and Hugh in, like, a family setting. And they're like, this is gonna change everything. People.
So you just gotta completely ignore every male streamer that also had similar instances, or every male gamer that's talked about how they felt playing this game. Because again, covert feminists, so it has to be about women.
People are going to have families because they.
Oh my god, I just noticed that Spoon of all people commented underneath this. This broad be so fucking dumb, she's making me agree with the aristocratic utensil. This broad be so mad dumb, she has me agreeing with fucking Spoon, bro. Who I absolutely destroyed in a debate when he was on my channel like half a year ago or something, by the way. He rage quit and has not talked to me since.
They played this game. And,
one of the issues here, and I see somebody mentioned it.
Not holding up.
So one of the things that gets mentioned here, and I agree, is that streamers will absolutely like just overdo it for the camera. It's why reaction channels. It's why Eric Butts will be a millionaire his whole life, because he can overact for Star Wars content. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's actually the rare example of somebody who actually feels that way. But in general, like, there is a percentage of people who do.
Yeah, Ronan, it was about, do you remember when Melanie Mac and all them dumb sluts, like a year ago, more than 6 months ago, it was like a year ago, started, quote-unquote, Goonergate? Spoon had always done this whole, no simping, women are inferior, this, that, and the other. And then he was simping for Melanie Mac and was so upset at Spaghetti people didn't take her side. So I called him out on it, and he came on my stream to debate it, and I absolutely wrecked him, and he rage quit. It was funny as shit, bro. Funny as shit.
Reaction content where it's like, whoa! It's like Frank Castle comes back to Marvel for the 50th time with John Byrne, like, oh! There's an aspect of it being played up here, perhaps.
I just want to address this because I don't think it's totally unreasonable for people to get creepy vibes.
It absolutely is 100% unequivocally, totally unreasonable for people to get creepy vibes. If you are getting creepy vibes, what's up, Jenna? If you are getting creepy vibes, that's you projecting as the creep. No, and this point has been made over and over by people on X, by you guys in the fucking comment section, by me, by Cinny, by Sevi with the heavies over here in the chat. Yes, if you find some sort of creep factor in a wholesome, found family style father-daughter relationship in a video game, a completely innocent and wholesome father-daughter relationship, if you get creeped out by that, you're the fucking creep. It is 100% unreasonable to think anything otherwise.
Not because it's sexual in any way, but because this is a game that's primarily being marketed and sold to men who don't have children.
Show me some stats to back that up. Because every gamer not every gamer, but the majority of gamers I know are actually fathers. Are people with kids, are family men. You want to know why? Because the average gamer is between 36 and 41 and is male. So if the average gamer is males from 36 to 41, and on average, men in that demographic have children, and that means this game, who's being marketed to the target demographic of gamers, would be marketed to the target demographic that has kids. Like, this is simple fucking math.
And
well, what does that
this is my
mean?
hot take, actually. I'll just read it so we don't have to allude to it all the time. So I said, childless men do not have paternal instincts the way that childless women have maternal instincts. We observe this even in the way little girls play versus little boys. So I'm referring to little girls displaying maternal instincts in the way they play with baby dolls, even.
That's not paternal and maternal instinct. That is individual versus object-oriented interest. She's conflating two things that are completely separate. That is not paternal versus maternal instinct. That is nurturing of living things versus object interest. You can have nurturing instinct and it not be maternal. She's trying to what she's trying to do is break down and explain what Jordan Peterson accurately explained and broke down way back in like 2016 or some shit, and she's doing it with all of the incorrect information.
From birth, you can detect that female babies make more eye contact than male babies. It's just ingrained in us biologically that, you know, women are caregivers, they are the nurturers.
And it's ingrained in men too. So on my video yesterday, let's see if I can find the comment. Let's see if I can find the comment. Hold on a sec. I got an incredible comment I had no idea about on the video that came out yesterday. Let's see if I can find it. All right, here we go. Comments. Where is the Helldivers comment? Keep scrolling. Nope. Because I had no idea about this. This was one of the coolest things I had read. This might be my favorite comment on this entire video. I got some pretty cool comments on this video. See if I can just F3. No, okay, so I've not scrolled enough yet. So here's what we're gonna do. Nope, still haven't scrolled enough. Damn. Sorry, guys. I got a lot of comments on this video. Well, no, it says I'm at the bottom. What the hell? Ha! What the hell, divers? It was probably close to the bottom anyway. But let's see. I don't think I responded to this comment because it was so great. I didn't even know. Wait, bro, the middle part of the. Oh, nope. Got that one. Male biological clock. Share my relationship with my father. Oh, this was a very nice, sweet, wholesome comment. Hey, what up, Sevi? Hypocrisy is palpable. Yes, it is. Somebody who's 100% single, by the way, failing. Normal people, again. I also got, dude, I got at least one anti-natalist in here, which was insane. That, like, they like, even an anti-natalist came in and said they find this stuff to be, like, this to be overblown, but then they went on this entire anti-natalist, fucking diatribe. That was hilarious. 51 years old, single man. That's sad. You're a pure renegade around the Mass Effect. Where is the Helldivers comment? Because I can't replicate it. It needs to be read. It was so perfect. Guys, gonna right here. Right here. Fun fact I just found out recently as I got into Helldivers 2. The devs forced players to choose between saving 2 planets within a set amount of time. One planet full of kids with no rewards, or the other planet that would reward players with a new stratagem. Suffice to say, the Helldivers 2 players overwhelmingly chose to save the planet full of kids first, and then still had enough time to save the second planet. Mind you, saving a single planet can take a very long time, and it really encourages tens of thousands of players to come together to save a single planet in a short amount of time. In honor of Helldivers 2 players' effort to save the kids first, the devs at Arrowhead actually donated the charity for actual real-life kids in need. I didn't know about this. I had no idea about this. Like, this was such a... So, yeah. But apparently fucking gamers and males... By the way, Helldivers 2, I don't know about the demographics, but I'm going to wager just a small guess. Overwhelmingly male. Chose to save the kids. Fictional fucking kids in a fictional fucking video game. Yeah. This bitch is retarded, bro.
Men first experience, this is continuing my post, men first experience paternal instincts once they have their own children, and typically those paternal instincts are only ever felt for their own children and no one else's.
Yep, only felt for their own children. Except for the apparently tens of thousands of dudes who got together to save fictional fucking kids. Man, I got another comment. This one I do remember. So I'm not going to search for it. I do remember. Someone commented that it was like their brother or their roommate or something like that. So another male they knew fell asleep with the TV on. And there was a scene in the movie or the TV show, wherever he was watching, with kids screaming. And he woke up to that and ran out of the house trying to find where the hurt kids were before he realized, I'm retarded. This is on TV. Guy didn't have kids of his own. It wasn't his kids. He just woke up to hearing kids screaming, didn't realize it was on the TV, and ran out to see what he could do to help. But apparently men only have these instincts for their own children. And they don't have these instincts at all until they have children. Like even if we take out the anecdotal evidence, do you know how many studies prove otherwise?
Contrast that, I guess, with, liberal moms on Facebook crying about children on the other side of the planet. Men are not nurturers. Men don't gush over cute kids in public. Men don't have baby fever.
Again, I have done that. I've actively been at the mall, seen a cute kid in a fucking stroller or whatever, and been like, oh my god, what a cute kid. Now also, I've been in Walmart, because of course it's Walmart. I remember what this baby looked like to this day. This must have been 14, 15 fucking years ago. It was the ugliest son of a bitch I'd ever seen. Ugliest fucking baby. Dude, the whole family, man. It was some hills have eyes looking shit. Me and my buddy Fingerless TJ, we nicknamed that family the Tribe. We nicknamed that family the Tribe. I still remember the Tribe, bro. How you gonna have a baby with the most whack-ass third-world haircut, a unibrow, and I couldn't even tell you if, it was a design on the shirt or it was just that many different stains and shit. It was, to be fair, it was sad. But, dude, you ever heard the Stephen Lynch song? Damn, that's an ugly baby. It was the ugliest fucking baby I'd ever seen, bro. Holy shit.
If a man wants to possess a child for any reason other than it being a product of his own lineage, he is likely a predator. Here I perhaps put too much, labor on the audience to interpret what I meant. I was inferring cases where, single men or gay men pursue adopting or buying.
Bullshit. This is cope. This is not what she was insinuating. This is absolute cope. To say that she was insinuating that this is when gay men buy kids, no. When you say men first experience paternal instincts once they have their own children, men are not nurturers, men don't gush over cute kids in public, men don't have baby fever. If a man wants to possess a child for any reason other than for it being a product of his own lineage, he's likely a predator. Bullshit. You were not just insinuating this is about a few homos now and again that buy kids. You are lying out your ass.
To interpret what I meant, I was inferring cases where, single men or gay men pursue adopting or
shout out to El Murdoch for two bangers. Stephen Lynch, Special Olympics. Yeah, great song. Special Olympics is great.
Buying a child via surrogacy without a mother involved in the process. And I do think that that's predatory, and it's predatory in the worst cases, of course, but in most cases just terrible for the child, because a man can never provide for a child what even an adoptive mom can, but because their brains are literally just not wired to be nurturing.
Okay.
So men's brains aren't then why do fathers matter? Then why do fathers matter? So you're telling me the entire 18 years of the kid's life, the father doesn't do any nurturing because we're not wired to nurture? Are you fucking stupid? I mean, frankly, that was a dumb question on my part. Of course he's fucking stupid. But let me phrase it differently. Even for a woman, you are fucking stupid. And I mean, that's saying so goddamn much. Because y'all know me, grade A pro level misogynist up in here. Even for a woman, This is some dumb ass shit.
So
And then I said you'd be taking the feminist / radical gender abolitionist position.
Frostfang has an interesting point. So what? If a man loses their wife and they have kids, the father isn't qualified to raise the kids? It must not be, because fathers can't nurture. Fathers can't. Y'all want to know a fun fact? Y'all want to know a fun fact about your boy Leon? You guys will know half of this at least, maybe the whole thing. I've told y'all my mom ran out on us when I was 10 years old. Now, I'm the oldest of 5. My mom ran out on us when I was 10 years old. So my little sister, she's 8. Guess what that means my dad did? Single dadded a fucking 8-year-old to the point of her. Now, to be fair, I think did my dad get back into a relationship with my sister was about 16? So from 8 to 16, my dad did that single dad thing with an 8-year-old girl. No, it's fine. No need for condolences. I'm over it. I'm over that. I was like 10. Bro, this was just 20-something years ago. I'm good. My point is that my dad, out of all the kids, the daughter, my sister, is my dad's favorite. No shade to my dad. I love my dad. I know that he loves me and my little brother. But my little sister's his favorite. And that's cool. I like that. My dad and my little sister have always had an amazing relationship. But he did that single dad life for 8 fucking years. She turned out pretty alright. She's going to school. She's my sister. First of all, my little sister is married. She's going to school to get her master's degree. That's gay. Don't like that. Women should be in the home, cooking, cleaning, having kids, all that shit. But that's neither here nor there. She's never been in any problems with the law. She's didn't get knocked up in high school, nothing like that. If men don't nurture, how fun my sister turned out so good? How fun my sister turned out not too dissimilar from the way Mugen Lord described his daughter? You tell me. 2-banger, 2 more for you to call her things YouTube won't let me. Oh, I'm ready to light this dumb broad up, bro. I'm ready to light this dumb broad up, to crucify this bitch.
And to protest the above points, this should explain why a dad simulator game marketed to mostly childless men gives people the creeps.
But I feel like so I guess I feel like there's a little bit of an issue here where you're talking about nurturing, but men aren't leaning into the nurturing for something like this. Maybe in this scene, but the point is protection, not nurturing.
No way. Does he actually call her out? This gotta be too good to be true. There's no way homeboy calls her out. I bet he's gonna softball it 'cause she a broad. I bet he gonna softball it because she a dumb woman with less brains than a goddamn T-Rex.
Nurturing, which isn't something inherent to men only after they have kids. There's a reason why brothers are fiercely protective of their sisters, or why I guess the example that I always think of is like there's a reason why every dude on planet Earth thinks that if they were on a plane with a terrorist that they would be the one to stop it, to protect the women and the children there, and they don't have to be their own children.
Beast! Look at this. Holy shit. We can see her brain rebooting, what little brain she has, mind you, in real fucking time. Don't fuck this up, dude. I don't know who you are. I don't know if I like you or not yet. I've only ever seen one episode of Pop Culture Crisis in my entire life. I couldn't even tell you this guy's name. Chad is saying Brett, so I'm going to assume his name is Brett. But we can see the walnut of a brain, like, trying to reconfigure and resend the synapses in other directions because a man's calling her out on her dumb shit. Do not fuck this up, glasses guy.
I feel like you are having 2 different discussions with the people in the comments there.
You're fucking it up. You're going to bat for her. You're having 2 different discussions. No, don't wiffle ball this. Bat her over the head with it.
And I do believe that men, maybe not at the same rate as women, eventually do come to feel a certain lack if they don't have kids and family. There's like a community note there. I can't rank it. I don't know how accurate it is, so I'm not going to reference it. I don't have the statistics on that. But men do yearn for families to have kids, which is...
Whether you have the statistics or not, it's common sense. Even, again, take anecdotal experiences out. It's common sense. I will say, not saying that you don't have the statistics is technically fair, but I don't like it.
A little bit different, given what the discussion you were having there with people.
I didn't even see the community note. What
It
does
says
say?
Bullshit! You lying asshole! You gonna claim that you didn't see that your 1.4 million impression tweet got community noted?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
You lying asshole! You covert feminist lolly looking fucking loser!
research shows childless men experience broodiness and desire for fatherhood nearly as often as childless women, 59% versus 63%, and men included non-parents exhibit innate caregiving and protective responses to infants. So I think that the thing is, you were talking about nurturing. Nurturing is kind of in the realm of protection, but not.
First of all, again, even glasses guy, Brett, is wrong here. Men do nurture. Now, again, we're talking about common sense. Yeah, common sense, on average, women nurture more. That is their main role. Men protect, women nurture. But there's crossover. We don't have the concept of the mama bear for nothing. Women clearly can also protect. That's part of their fucking role. Men can also clearly fucking nurture. Notice how she stayed incredibly fucking silent, except to lie about how she hasn't seen the community note, by the way. Notice how, except to say she hadn't seen the community note, she has stayed fucking silent while the man is talking, so at least she might kind of know her fucking place.
Not necessarily the same thing.
There's
Men
a
are
distinction.
fiercely instinctive.
I opened my mouth too soon. Oh, there's a distinction. Shut the fuck up. You don't know. Does this broad have kids? I highly doubt this broad has kids. Does Mary Morgan have a boyfriend? No. Come on, it said for a moment. Oh, that's Moriarty. Okay, I don't know who that is. Bro! Does Mary Morgan have kids? And the first thing that comes up is my boy's tweet. Let's fucking go, Mugen. Let's go. Well done. Top Google result. I'll have to send him that later. Mary Morgan, well sent. I guess Mary Morgan, Timcast have kids. Ugh, I gotta go to Reddit. Gross. Does Mary have a kid? Read post somewhere. She's an unmarried Catholic woman who is saving herself. I highly doubt that. Saving herself for marriage? Let's be real. Maybe she's saving herself for marriage now that she's plowed 80 fucking dudes. Maybe she a reformed hoe. But ain't no good goddamn way that this broad ain't been fucked. Because she's like 31 or something. Yeah, Virgin Mary has a kid. No, maybe. She does have a kid. She's the Virgin Mary. Her kid's Jesus. Alright, how old is she? How old is Mary Morgan from Pop Culture Crisis? Turned 30 years old, okay, so February 18th. So she is 31. She is the same age as me. She's younger than me, by about a year, because I'll be turning 32 this year. She just turned 31. But anyway, yeah. You try to tell me this 31-year-old never bumped uglies? Bullshit. Bullshit. Catholic that's saving herself for marriage. Get the fuck out of here. I don't believe it for a goddamn moment. I like Dermy, but Dermy must be retarded, because I was able to find that with a fucking Google search.
Instinctual towards the protection, because we have to be biologically programmed to do it to continue the human race.
Yeah, that's a valid point, and you're right that it draw to protect the vulnerable is intrinsic to masculinity and men's capacity for fatherhood.
That's what I believe.
It draws the point
Programmed to do it to continue the human race.
Yeah, that's a valid point, and
Notice the but? But, well, that's a valid point, and even though he is right, even though he is objectively correct, because of her womanly ways, she is still looking for ways to try and argue and be correct. This, by the way, boys, is why we endorse misogyny around here. because of dumbass hoe shit like this.
You're right that it draw to protect the vulnerable is intrinsic to masculinity and men's capacity for fatherhood.
That's what I believe. That's so. What this is resonating with men is not maybe the aspect here is like he's like, I'm gonna give her a name, which I suppose leans into the nurture side of things, but it's directly connected to what.
You can even make an argument that's not even the nurture side of things. Now, to be fair, whether it is or isn't is kind of irrelevant. But the way it's framed in the cutscene is that he doesn't want to go around giving fucking letters and numbers. He doesn't want to be alphanumeric with the fucking robot child. So for simplicity's sake, because men are problem solvers, he gives her a name. Did I miss your super vagabond? I'm sorry, homie. Let me check. Oh, vagabond with a 5-banger. So first of all, with the 2-bangers, that's check my last super. Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't see that come in. How many times we see men cry on Maury's show when they find out the kids they've been raising was not theirs and continue to raise the kid on their own? Fucking facts. Facts. Where's that famous Judge Judy clip? Where's that famous Judge Judy clip? I wonder if I'm gonna get fucking copyright for this. Like I got copyright for the History Channel yesterday. Judge Judy slams woman for celebrating losing child's stepdad. I don't know how you would phrase this. Yes, this right here. Thankfully this came up. Cool.
Versus Rasmussen. When it comes to 3-year-old Zaylee Rasmussen, it has been determined by...
My bad. Wasn't Judge Judy. It was whoever this broad is.
By this court. Mr. Rasmussen, you are not the father. Miss Miller.
Be respectful.
I'm sorry. Miss Miller.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of nerve considering the alternative is somebody that don't want nothing to do with you or your child.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of nerve. You just showed me where your priorities were right there.
I'm sorry.
Because I held out hope that you weren't just acting a fool because you so mad at him because he cheated on you that you would cheat your child out of a father. But that cheering you did, what you cheering? I'm a single mother with nobody that loves me or my child. What you cheering for? In the case...
That's not even the full clip. She goes harder, dude. She goes harder on the broad. She's all like, he drove out here 4 hours, for this daughter that's not even his, that he's gonna continue to raise. All the like she goes in on that fat bitch, dude. She goes in on that fat bitch. Frostbang for a 2-banger says she's actually 25, August 14, 2000. Either way, she ain't no fucking Virgin Mary saving herself. I don't believe it for a goddamn minute. But yeah, that's the clip I was thinking of.
What men would feel, which is the ability to connect with and then protect someone in a dire situation, right? So if we, like, one of the examples that was getting brought up, if I was looking into this, was like how step parents are different from regular parents, right? But that's not the same thing as somebody being...
I don't even believe that. Well, okay, I'm a little mixed on it. Like, there are horror stories out there about, step parents. But there's also horror stories about real parents. I told you all earlier, my mom abandoned me when I was 10. The guy I keep saying is my dad, technically my stepdad. Technically ain't been my stepdad since my mom ran out on us. He continued to raise me my entire life and raises me to this day. Yeah, Papa Idol's technically my not even stepdad since I was 10. I'm 31. I still call my dad when I need help. Let's be real. So I don't even like hearing that step-parent argument because my stepdad's been real fucking good to me.
Thrust into an extremely dangerous situation where terrorists or robots are coming after you, and then you need to protect those younger and weaker than you. And I do believe that is innate to men, and that is what is resonating with men in this game.
Yeah. I guess I was just trying to draw the distinction between...
Nobody cares what you were trying to do. You were a dumbass hoe that had the internet roast you and ruin you, and you were still here trying to justify it and not take any fucking accountability.
Between how men and women respond to the vulnerability of children. I mean, babies being the most helpless human beings on the planet. And it's my perspective that
no one gives a fuck about your perspective. We care about facts. And you were factually incorrect on all accounts.
men do not have the capacity to feel for children the way that women do. And I don't know if I've found a better way to articulate it than
no, Mugen or Eagle Lord, you're being stupid. She can't distinguish between fiction and reality in a story. No, not in a story, you dumb asshole. She can't distinguish between reality and reality. She's saying this about reality. She's saying men can't do this in reality.
women are maternal in a more noticeable way than men are.
Women are more no shit, women are more maternal. That, the root word, in maternal is female oriented. It's the female fucking Latin root word. I think it's Latin, maybe Greek. You get my point. Duh. The argument isn't about what isn't maternal. In fact, I don't think she even said the word maternal. She said nurturing, if I recall. Hold on a sec. I don't think the word maternal was used once. Childless men do not have paternal instincts. Okay, have maternal. Okay, my bad. Fair enough. She did. I'll take the L on that. She did say maternal. But that's still irrelevant because that's not the point that she's now trying to make here. So it doesn't really matter.
Are naturally paternal.
I guess, like, so one of the things I find most interesting is, like, have you ever seen those videos where it's like when mom's home alone with the children versus dad, and the dad, they're always doing something dangerous when they're home alone with the dad. Okay, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not, like, maybe it's because I've done risky things skating for 25 years, but when I see a kid running faster than their legs can carry them, my instinct is to stop them from falling.
Wrong. Your instinct should be, let them fall. They're going to learn a lesson. let that bitch fall. They're going to learn a lesson. And when they fall and scrape their knee, and you tell them, oh, shit, looks like it hurt. Ain't going to do that again, are you? Yeah. Yeah, that's how you parent. That's how you fucking parent. Alright? You shouldn't be fucking protecting these kids. Now, obviously, if it's something that's, like, dangerous, yes, you want to protect them. But running too fast, they fall. Fuck you weak-ass hoe. I'm sure Brett's a nice guy. He definitely seems far more reasonable than her. I'm just amped up and angry right now because she's such a dumb slut. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, yeah, no, he's wrong.
Like, I'm not like, well, that's how you learn not to run too fast. My instinct is to stop them before they fall. And some might even tell you that's the wrong instinct, because
I just said this, the wrong instinct. Thank you. Yes, correct.
The mother's instinct should be to stop them before they fall. The father's instinct should be like, they need to, sometimes they're going to need to take a tumble if they're going to learn to help themselves. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's right, but I know that my instinct is to stop them.
Since you brought up the aspect of, like, step parents earlier.
Oh please. Let's hear what you got to say on this one. I'm truly curious what your pontifications on the relationships of step parents are when you don't even have your own biological children. This'll be good.
It is true that kids are far more likely to get abused by a step parent than a parent. And that is
statistically, that might be true. Fair enough.
Even more of a stark contrast when you look at stepfathers versus stepmothers.
I don't know that that's true. I don't know that's true at all. And while you're at it, let's backtrack and get up the step stuff for a moment. I'll admit, I'm a little close to that subject considering how I feel about my pops. But needless to say, I bring this up all the time, and I usually bring it up as a joke, but it's also something statistically true. Let's talk about biological parents for a sec. What do dads do? They leave. It's unfortunate. They leave. Pops, they bounce. Child, fatherless home. Sucks. You want to know what women do? You want to know what women do? They drown their fucking kids. Yeah. Yeah, women actually kill their children. That's a fucked up statistic, but it's true.
That is true. I mean, stepmothers are more likely to enter into a family that is not biologically theirs and be able to.
No, D-Stock, I don't mean abortion. I mean when the kids are 5, 6, 7 years old and they suffer from whatever psychosis or whatever it is, the same instincts that drive a man to leave, women murder their kids. Usually via drowning, but other ways as well. I'm not talking about abortion. This is an actual statistic that the psychological factors that cause men to leave when women experience those same psychological factors, they kill their kids. War Wizard for a 2-banger. I stick out my foot. I'm a bit of a nihilist. As long as they learn the lesson.
To be competent caregivers to children that are not theirs. Because, and that's what I'm trying to say, is that women are nurturers. And then I feel like people...
But that's not what you were trying to say. What you're trying to say is that dudes that play this game and they feel these feelings of fatherhood, by the way, not nurturing specifically, not necessarily nurturing, but wanting to be a father, are creepy. That's what you said. You can't twist it any other way.
Really didn't even try to respond to me in earnest, and now they're dying on this hill that, like, men are actually better at nurturing children than women.
No one's saying that. No one is saying men are better at nurturing children than women are. What we're saying is you labeled some blatant biological falsehoods on all men in an absolutist standard, and you were objectively wrong, and now you getting checked on it. To the point where Timmy Pool had to run D for you and make up words you never said, such as tendency, because you were that fucking stupid.
And that's just not true.
We've got a couple of 20s here. I'm going to read them quick. Sorry about that, Shane.
I like what he just did there. He basically did a nice version of, shut the fuck up, bitch, money just came in. Money's more important than whatever dumb shit you're saying, Blondie.
Says, I just have a psych minor, so what the F do I know? But there's a difference between male innate protector instinct and paternal instinct. Science shows that men's brains rewire during pregnancy as they develop paternal instincts.
Yeah, there is definitely something distinct between a fatherly role and just the masculine protector role.
This bitch folded real quick when someone came in with a 20-banger waving a piece of paper saying, hey, here's what I learned in college.
I think one of the other reasons for step parents is also, like, historically men are the ones whose job it is to, like, punish and to, you know, make sure the kids don't act out and enact punishment to kids. And that's not something you can really do. You don't, like, if you're a stepdad, you don't have that same, like, authority over the child.
Oh, my dad did. My fucking dad did. Now, I will say, I don't think he liked doing it. Or maybe he did, which is even more based. But he definitely had that role. My mom, when she was around, she didn't give a fuck if my dad was going to beat my ass. To this day, dude, alright. So one night, my dad had shampooed the carpets. I swear to God, this is a true story. The next day, I went out with my friends. I must have been like 3rd grade. I lived out in the country. I went out with my friends. We're running around in the mud, doing all sorts of shit. We had a rule in our house. Take your shoes off when you get inside. I never followed that rule. I was a shitty kid. I never followed that fucking rule. So I ran inside, and I tracked mud all through the carpet that my dad had spent the last who knows how many hours shampooing the night before. My mom comes out, and she sees it. She said the words, like straight out of a fucking 1950s sitcom, just wait till your father gets home. She had never called him my father before. That's why I have this memory. She had never called him. She would say dad. She never said stepdad or anything. She always said, like, dad. I had never heard my mom use the word father before. She said, wait till your father gets home. I don't remember what my dad did to me. I don't remember. I remember getting an ass beaten. But it did not scare me as much as hearing my mom say the words, "Just wait until your father gets home." Yeah. Stepdad or not, my dad didn't give no fuck, son.
Well, it's also just because on a primal level, if we're being real, like the stepfather has no genetic incentive to, you know, actually protect those children.
There's
no genetic incentive. And again, I get it. Anecdotal. Why are me and my dad going to see Weird Al in June? Bro, it was my dad's birthday. Y'all know, because I was talking about on stream. Hey, I just got back from my dad's birthday late last month. My dad goes, "Hey, you got any streams on?" I think like June 15th or whatever. He's like, "It's a Wednesday. You got any streams the night of June 15th or whatever that fucking Wednesday is?" I was like, "No, I do my Wednesday streams during the day." He goes, "Good, because if you had plans, I was gonna tell you to cancel them." I was like, "Oh, why is that?" He's like, "Me and you're gonna go see Weird Al." My dad took me to see Weird Al when I was 13 years old. By like I said, my mom had ran out on us when I was 10. He had still kept taking care of me. He took me for my 13th birthday to see Weird Al. So on his fucking birthday, just last month, he surprised me with tickets for us to go see Weird Al together in June. Fuck you and your whole step-parent, this, that, or the other bullshit.
I'm not saying it never happens, but it's not natural that comes to them.
Another 20 from Shane says, protector instinct is what makes us want to protect women or even do things like jump blindly into the fray.
Mind you, what are you talking about, that protector instinct? I would say that's why a lot of times, stepdads actually do step up. Bio mom don't know what the fuck's going on, their life falling apart. Bio dad ran out, left, whatever it may be. Yeah, because of them protector instincts, stepdads step the fuck up. Now again, I get it. I'm not going to deny the statistics of abuse from step-parents. That is a real statistic. Numbers don't lie, although people can manipulate numbers to make them think they lie. But nah. There's a reason that I would say that stepdads are actually probably more prone to being properly loving and caring and nurturing than stepmoms because of that protective nature of men. Amanda, for a member for 10 months, shout out. My stepdad was more of a dad than my real dad. Fucking facts. Look at that. Look at that. Exactly what I'm talking about with my dad. Exactly. Based. Glad to hear that, Amanda. Based.
When we see a friend getting jumped, you need it to fully develop a paternal instinct, but they aren't the same.
Speaking of punishments, by the way, I know I keep pausing this shit. Another thing about my dad, man, my dad, sometimes he was a ruthless motherfucker. I was telling you about my dad punching me and shit. And while he did whip my ass a few times, that actually was not the worst thing. Here's what my dad would do as a punishment. This motherfucker's evil, bro. This motherfucker's evil, bro. Dude, Dad, if you see this, fuck you. Love you, though. When we fucked up, specifically me and my little brother. I don't remember my little sister having to do this shit. But me and my little brother, when we fucked up, he would make us do wall sits. Right? He'd make us do wall sits for 5 minutes. Now, anyone that knows what a wall sit is, that shit sucks. But it was even worse. He would bring out the fucking level. Like, out of his tool case, the level. He would level it. And if we weren't at that perfect 90-degree angle that whole time, if we got off, bitch, we had to restart. 5 minutes over again. 5 minutes over again, son. Wall sits for 5 minutes, and this motherfucker broke out the level from the toolbox. I don't remember ever having to do that twice in my life, son. I don't remember ever having to do that twice in my entire life.
Again, I think that, so my point was, when I was reading your post earlier, I felt like everybody was kind of having a different discussion, because though I did disagree with aspects of what you had said up here, it felt like you said, it
No, he wasn't a military man, Twisted Jack. Adam C. That's the thing. My dad did fucking IT for a living. My dad did fucking IT for the electric company.
Evolved into a whole other discussion entirely.
Yeah, we've reached reductio ad absurdum, where people are now in my replies saying that.
And there's her attempt to sound smart. We've reached reductio ad absurdum. You're wrong. Just own up to it. I mean, you're not. That would require accountability, which is impossible for 99.9% repeating of women. But
they would rather hire a male babysitter than a female babysitter, and I'm just like, okay, are we even?
I mean,
I mean, I ain't saying whether that's right or wrong, but we've seen an epidemic of teachers fucking their students lately. We've seen an epidemic of female teachers fucking their students lately. I don't know. All I can say is y'all can trust me with your kid more than any female teacher that I'm aware of.
Like having a real conversation anymore.
Yeah, Randall, my dad cool as fuck.
With the
My dad
female
cool as
teachers
fuck.
at schools these days, I don't even know how far off that's going to be in the next 5 years, given the stories that have been coming out
Okay.
about that stuff.
But we could even
I was talking to Serranos and Vex about this literally a couple days ago. Literally just a couple days ago, I was talking to Serranos and Vex about this. I actually wanted to be an elementary teacher. That was my dream career when I was younger. My dream career, dude. I wanted to be an elementary school teacher. And then as I got older, I realized the risk ain't worth it. The risk ain't fucking worth it.
obviously spin that around and say most pedophiles are men.
No, I'm saying that like it's more just like it's shocking to people now that it's turned on its foot the way things are going that direction. But you're right. That was I think I pointed out to you earlier that I think it was a Jeff Dye bit where he's talking about equality. He goes men and women. He says it's stupid to think that men and women are equal. Equal equals the same. He actually got that part wrong, but that's not the point. He goes when you came here tonight and you hired a babysitter, you hired a female one not because you hate men, but because you're not dumb.
Yeah.
And again, I don't actually know the statistics on it nowadays. Maybe that's still true. Who's to say?
That's all I was trying to say, really, is that, children should be in the care of women generally.
First of all, that's not what you're trying to say. You're coping, trying to save face. But even if that was what you're trying to say, the fuck that guy do with a video game anyway? The fuck that guy do with a video game?
Speaking, because they're the nurturers, and it's okay that that's what women excel at, and that that's their strong suit, and that it's not one that belongs to men, and we're different and not equal in every respect.
I guess it was just hard for people to see that because they're looking at.
Nah, dude, you gotta stop. You gotta stop trying to give this bitch an out. You gotta stop trying to give this bitch an out. She is wrong. She is objectively wrong. And she needs to be lit up and told she is fucking wrong. Not just because she's a woman. Because let's be real, women are almost always wrong. Because even if she were a man saying this shit, she'd still be wrong.
At game footage, like it was also quoted with game footage where they're taking you to make a one-to-one comparison of what's going on in this game when that really wasn't the point that you were making.
Okay.
It absolutely was the point she was making. Otherwise, why bring it up in the context of the game? You bring it up in the context of the game with what this game is about. Phantom Mage, when I say almost always, here's the dealio. I have to say almost always because Sevi will kill me if I don't say, at least throw in the caveat of almost.
And this is something that I was saying off air before we started the show, and I'm gonna try to reword it now. I don't like that people are going to play this game and think, oh, this game is reflecting back at me what a good person I am.
First of all, no one's thinking that. This game is reflecting back to them a few things. This game is fun. This game is enjoyable. This game got a good story. But more importantly, if it reflects back on them, man, I want to be a dad. Isn't that a good fucking thing? Aren't we at a deficit? Ain't we at below replacement rates? Shouldn't you want things where people be like, fuck, I want to be a dad? Why are there about all them crazy fucking hoes that keep getting their kids scraped the fuck out of them and aren't settling, well, settling's the wrong word, but as in like settling down with these good men?
Like, I think that that's a ridiculous way to like interact with any sort of media. Oh, like this movie and how it's making me feel is reflecting back at me like how empathetic I am. This game is showing me like,
you are literally describing dumbass female behavior, and you're ascribing that to men. Good pause, by the way. Good pause. She is describing feminine behavior, because this is a covert feminist. and she's ascribing that to men. Because that's what these covert feminists do. I don't ever want to hear the claims that just because she's Catholic, that she's a conservative. Ain't no fucking way.
How naturally virtuous and heroic I am. It's a simulation. It's not real life. I don't like that people are using this as a way to virtue signal, essentially.
Bitch! You literally used this to virtue signal! We may have done it, boys. We may have done it. We may have found the person on the internet with less self-awareness than Darkside Phil. We may have found the only person on the entirety of YouTube that got less self-awareness than Darkside fucking Phil. Holy shit. Pipple up Stars Commander for a 2-banger. As an uncle, I find this lying feminist very stupid. Agreed. I wish you'd said it in a meaner way, but YouTube, I get it. I agreed. Scary fact: abortions kill more than the Civil War. Thank you for the two-banger, Mervoth. I don't doubt that for a moment. I don't doubt that for a moment.
Actually,
I think
maybe
it's
that
kind
point
of,
is not going to be received the way I intend it, but I tried my best.
I think it's sort of.
And yes, at least DSP can claim he's doing a bit. That's true. And she made Melanie Mac. Man, she made Melanie Mac look good. You're right.
At the intersection of the fact that people don't feel like they get a lot of entertainment that speaks to good values these days.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of enamored with it when it does happen, which
Again, Brett's correct. That's been a lot of the dialogue about this is, wow, look at this. Good, wholesome values in a piece of modern media, especially in the AAA scene, AAA gaming scene, which has been practically fucking unheard of in a post-Gamergate world.
We went and saw, what was the Shelter this year, and the whole...
I'd love to see what Melanie Mac said, but she's had me blocked for like 2 years now, so I can't.
Whole movie was Jason Statham protecting this young girl who, I forget, it was like his brother's daughter, well, it wasn't his daughter, it was like his brother's daughter or something like that, but basically they were running from like an all-powerful government-controlled AI, and he's kind of, he's Jason Statham, he's gruff and he's British, and the kid did a very good job in the movie of kind of bringing out a more paternal instinct in him as the movie came out, and you don't see a lot of that type of storytelling these days, so when they do get it, people get excited.
I did see one take that I think maybe we can all unite on.
It better be a real bad fucking take, because no matter what, I kind of just instinctively want to disagree with you on the fact that you a dumb hoe.
So shout out to this person on X who said, relax, it's so effing cringe. One side turning this into some bullshit pedophile narrative, the other one making it about fatherhood. It's a fucking game.
No! Actually, we can't unite on that. Media, whether it be games, comics, movies, music, whatever it may be, elicits an emotional response. That's the point of art, at least one of the points of art, is to elicit an emotional response. It's not just a fucking game. It is a fucking game, but it's not just a fucking game. It is still a piece of art. And no, you are part of the side that is admonishing, making this about the values of fatherhood. And yes, I see your message, Vagabond. I'm going to finish this out and then I will.
I only care about the gameplay and hope the game can convince me to care about the story.
There you go.
Thank you.
I mean,
finally someone with some sense.
It's the internet where you have to have discourse, so.
Like, oh my gosh. It's like half the people are talking about how this is like basically CP, and then the other half are talking about how this is about to, change the global birth rates. And I'm like,
you are on a political talk show. You're part of a political company that frequently talks about conspiracies, psyops, and propaganda. And yet you're dismissing any possibility of that being the case with this piece of media, even though many other pieces of media have absolutely been that. And yes, Sevi is correct. She was the one who said that shit!
Aren't we talking about a video game?
I don't believe for a moment she's ever played a fucking video game. Maybe some goddamn Candy Crush on her phone.
Yeah, I just felt like that was kind of like lost in the sauce. Maybe I still haven't made my perspective clear, but I tried, guys.
No, you have absolutely made your perspective clear. You are a lying, covert feminist that will try and gaslight your audience the moment you get a bit of pushback just because you were fucking wrong publicly. Yes, you have made it crystal clear that you are no different than a leftist feminist. Absolutely.
Guys, I really did.
Thanks for watching.
So yeah, there's that. Take the... Why is my dislike option gone? What the fuck?
Yeah, I had a hot.
Yo, what's going on here? Okay, it still took the dislike though. Bro, 260 likes to 600 almost dislikes. Holy shit. Guys, let's see if we can get that number higher. Let's see if we can get that number higher. Read the comments. I'll read the comments in just a sec. Vagabond sent me Melanie's response in a screenshot, and I want to check it out. And then we'll read some comments on it. Here we go. Let's open this in a new tab. I want to share my DMs. Melanie Mack says, don't men adopt children more than women do? People can get too extreme on the conservative side sometimes. The notion that men are just unga bunga creatures incapable of feelings is retarded. Bro, this broad just made me agree with Melanie Mack. This broad just made me agree with Melanie fucking Mack. How you out here making Melanie Mack look like she got a brain? I'm actually impressed. She did it, guys. She did it. I'm flabbergasted. I'll give props to Melanie. Well done. Well fucking done. Damn. Damn, I'm impressed. Yeah, 2-for-1 special. All right, let's check out some of these comments. Mary sounds like she wouldn't let her daughter hold her father's hand because it looks bad. That's a good comment out the gate. As a father, the idea that dads aren't nurturing is ridiculous. Based. Who's here because of her I'm a miserable woman take? It's a misandrist detector. Facts. Men are natural protectors. I don't think it matters if they are related or not. Correct. The idea that men don't feel affection for children even before they have their own is preposterous. We don't show it because people would be quick to call us creepy, just like they're doing right now. Abso-goddamn fucking lootly. Hey, Alaskan Gun Nut up in this bitch. Shout out to Alaskan Gun Nut. Mary said something stupid on X. She got biting in the comments. Got a community note because of this game. Well deserved. This is my game. Okay, well, I don't know about that game of the year part. I don't know about that game of the year part. But the rest of that's pretty A-okay. Worst take she's had? Oh, don't worry. I'm sure she'll have worse as the time goes on now that she's outed herself as a covert feminist. Anyone who thinks this game is for creeps either don't have a good relationship with their dad or is self-reporting. Absolutely. Mary, who's never once been a man, telling us what runs through our heads. Correct. To answer the question in the thumbnail, no, it's not creepy. Just take the L, lady. Mary went so far in traditionalism of women better for kids that she right back around to radical feminism horseshoe in action. Yes! Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. What's Cultural Breakdown say? I'm not familiar with this channel, but there's a reason Mary Horrible Take on this is getting crushed on X. Ultimately, she's still a child with no real world experience, but was given a microphone as if she's an authority. Correct. Well done. Yeah, these are great. Great comments all around. I'm so glad to see this dumb slut getting roasted. I really am. When you come out with such an objectively awful take, especially when you are looked at as, you know, part of I don't want to say like leading voice in the conservative movement, because ain't nobody know who this hoe is. But she's attached to the Tim Pool and Tim Cass name. For some reason, people take them seriously. Then yeah, this needs to be crushed and crucified. I like, it shows there's still people with common sense on X, because almost everybody just flat out rejected this, regardless of their partisan politics. Because it was that fucking stupid. And I respect that. I do respect the hell out of that. So I'll give it credit in that regard. Alrighty. Let's see, we've been going for 2 hours. We got a couple more videos in us. And, let's just keep the Capcom train rolling. Our girl, Sevi with the Heavies, dropped a video yesterday. Y'all were asking me during Tinfoil Haters if I'd seen it. I said, no. This is Tinfoil Haters. We talk about conspiracy theories on this fucking show. We'll react to it tomorrow. And this is a situation that I'm glad she covered, because I wanted to, but I didn't have a whole lot to say because I was busy with other shit. Capcom versus modders. They're forcing videos down. Let's go.
Capcom demands YouTuber take down his videos because he's using mods. What video game are we talking about? We are talking about none other than Resident Evil. What mod?
At this point, my hatred for Resident Evil, because it's my favorite franchise, and where the franchise has gone, and how much I hate Resident Evil 9 is so... I've crossed the barrier from it making me angry to now just getting euphoric joy when people talk shit. This is going to be incredible.
Mods could possibly Capcom have a problem with? Well, you guessed it, is those mods that make the characters look, oh, should I dare say it, hotter? Yes, you heard it right. Capcom is now censoring gaming. In this video, we will discuss exactly what is going on with Capcom, why do they have a problem with this YouTuber and with the use of mods, and what it means for the gaming industry.
I'll tell you exactly why. Now, to be fair, I'm going to tell you exactly why I assume is the case prior to the video, and then we'll see what she actually has to say. But because it's being done to female characters, because again, we know good goddamn well they didn't do anything about the Schmexy Leon mods when Resident Evil 4 Remake came out. This seems like it's probably has to do with the fact that it's being done to avoid a wager a guess, and it is just a guess, because I don't know. Grace, the female character. We know how much they got that Troon Sphere Hunter running defense for them, emphasis on the D. So, let's see.
Started. Griso UK is a YouTuber with 217,000 subscribers, and so far, at least as of now, 693 videos. He did delete some videos, as you might have guessed, and a lot of the videos that he has in his channel are about modding games. So he has, for example, Stellar Blade. He has Resident Evil with the Infinite Marksman 1A.
Guys, I don't know how much you know about Resident Evil, but, that's not a normal outfit in the game. Interesting that he doesn't have to take that down. That's a modded outfit. Leon all bare-chested and looking all muscular and shit. Interesting.
Freya's Needle. We know that the games are modded. We can see the games are modded because these are generally not what the games look like.
Guys, it's too much. This is too much. That's not okay. Men watching, if you like your women like this, seek help. This is gross. This is fucking gross.
When they were published. It is a known fact that if you're a PC gamer, chances are you have modded a game to make it better, to run better. You might install mods to make the graphics better. You might install mods to change the appearance of the characters. Gamers have modded games for centuries. If it is...
Well, I don't know about centuries. Actually, holy shit, maybe centuries. We've had like D20s since the old Egyptian days. If you like have a game that used a D20 the old Egyptian days, but then they came up with no new rules for it, that would be considered modding the game. Shit, she might be technically correct. This is why I said women are almost always wrong. Because right there, I thought she was wrong. I think she might actually be right.
a PC game, you betcha it's fucking gonna get modded. This is just one of the examples that you have. Instead of having, you could have Ada Wong, or you could have Lara Croft in a Resident Evil game. Because...
And now, mind you, as absolutely terrible as Ada Wong is in Resident Evil 4 Remake, because that's a terrible game, and Ada is done so fucking dirty in that game, swapping her out with Lara Croft don't make the game any better, boys. Don't make the game any better. How often have I modded? I don't mod as often. I mod decently often. It just depends on the game.
Why not? I mean, that is really the beauty of modding games. You can have all sorts of fun. This is actually one of my favorite mods.
You always play on controller. Okay, but it feels different. Wait, why does she look not like her here? What the fuck?
No, what? Yeah, she does look a lot different all of a sudden.
All of a sudden.
She looks like Tomb Raider. That's weird.
That's weird.
Did you put a fucking mod in this?
No.
So then we are left with none other than Capcom coming back and then saying, "How dare you, modder?"
Zax comes in with, "My grandmother always told me the D20s were black." Well done, my friend. Good reference.
Our games. Even though you bought the game, you quote own it per se, right? Because you have the license to play the game in your fucking computer. And if it is in your computer, then again, you should be able to mod it and have fun with it. But not according to Capcom.
That is the objectively correct take. In a couple of ways, actually. Not only is she right about you don't actually own the game, you only have the license for it. That's such a massive problem. I love Steam, but that's a massive problem with Steam. GOG, real base in that regard. You buy the game, you actually own the game. They give you the files for it and everything. The .exe files, that is yours. But license or not, you've paid. You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want. Now, I will say there's an argument to be had, like, okay, that changes when it comes to online games, competitive games, because you can use mods to cheat and stuff. Different story. There should be moderation around that. If it's a single-player game, fuck you, all mods should be allowed.
So let's hear what they said. All right, so here he is going to start to explain the email that he received. Of course, he has it on screen, and we will blow it up for you. But let's hear first what he has to say.
We're going to get this show on the road. Unfortunately, it's not the video I wanted to do, but I feel like this is a dangerous precedent for Capcom to do this if I'm the only one that's targeted with this. So we were ready to give you a whole lot of content for the week. We had so many videos. I worked on them today, and then I've had to delete them because I can't release them. So Capcom sent me an...
Said British Leon. Dude, let me show you some shit real quick. Remind me after this. I don't want to interrupt Sevi's video because it's a good video, but remind me after this is over because you said British Leon.
Email yesterday, and they basically said they want over 1,000 videos of mine removed. I can show you proof here. They sent me an Excel sheet with literally every single video they wanted removed. And it worked out as about 1,005 videos, or 1,004 there. It's 1,005 there. So 1,004 videos I want to remove. So I've had to go ahead and remove every single one of my Resident Evil mod videos, or majority of the Resident Evil mod videos. So Street Fighter, Resident Evil and Street Fighter mainly. So
this is insane.
And here's the dealio. My boy Stupinzo, when I posted about this on X, Stupinzo said something real dumb. And I love him to death. Let me see if I can find it, because I don't want to misquote my boy. I don't want to misquote my boy. Make sure my DMs are closed. One sec. Okay, cool. DMs are closed. Let's go to my profile. Let's give that a little like real quick. Let's go to my profile. It might take me a bit to get there. I post a lot, but it was about this situation. Nope, not that. Just Resident 4 remake. No. Right here. All right. Japan is super based, guys. Heard of her. So it's about the censorship stuff. Stupinzo says, based or not, which they're not, their copyright law is not the same as ours. As an excuse, we both know it. Sega's a Japanese company. They don't give a fuck what you do with the Sonic IP as a fan, much to the detriment to the internet. And they never went after sexualized models of Leon Kennedy during Resident Evil 4 Remake. This isn't about copyright law. It says, well, I'm addressing the how could they do this, not why would they do this. So you're addressing a point nobody made. Because nobody's talking about how could they. We know Japan does in fact have different copyright laws. They do. Japan actually does not have fair use. There's no such thing in fair use, or in Japan as fair use. But that's not the point. It's the point this is being done for completely political, or at the very least, agenda-driven reasons.
Capcom sent him an email. A YouTuber. He sent YouTuber an email who has nothing but joy for the game. He uploads videos, he has fun, he mods them, he tries to make them interesting for folks to be able to see what you could potentially do to the game, to have fun with it. And the email that he gets basically states, take down 1,000+ videos from your YouTube channel because you have offended us. This is what the email says. To whom it might concern, we are Capcom Company Limited, a Japanese company and the exclusive owner of all intellectual property rights, including but not limited to copyrights, trademarks, and related rights in the IP renowned as Resident Evil, Street Fighter series, including characters, visual assets, and all associated elements. It has come to our attention that these assets have been used to produce adult-oriented mods, and that related videos have been created and published on YouTube. Please note that such use is not authorized.
Fractal Mage, don't fucking tempt me, or I will.
And it is inconsistent with our terms of service, as well as relevant copyright and intellectual property laws. To resolve this matter amicably, we respectfully request that you remove the videos listed in the attachment to this notice by April 21st of 2026. The attached list identifies the specific content we are referring to. We sincerely hope to resolve this matter through your cooperation. However, please be aware that if the above mentioned content is not removed by the shared deadline, we may need to take further measures in accordance with our policies, including something of the content, an appropriate account.
Now, I'm not the lawyer here. Sevi is. Now, obviously, she is not well-versed in Japanese law. So this is a genuine question. Because we know that Nintendo is incredibly litigious. So I would imagine they probably do have a case here. That being said, we would need to see the TOS, and violations and whatnot that occur within, like... Because when you start up these games nowadays, they have you, like, sign all those agreements, or not sign, but, like, click I accept and stuff. It's one of those agreements that, hey, you just have the license to this game, and you can, you can't alter it in any way that we don't see fit. No, Nintendo. I'm using Nintendo as the basis, because we all know how litigious Nintendo is. So I'm saying that Capcom and Nintendo is, they've gone to court over it, they've won several cases over it. So I'm wondering if Capcom could be going that same route, and if they actually have a case, what it boils down to in terms of what they can and can't enforce in terms of you modding the games. Like, I don't know if this is a scare tactic or if this would actually fly. Now, also this has to do with not just Capcom, but UK law as well. I kind of wonder if this dude were in America, he could just tell him to fuck off. I'm not entirely sure, but if he was in America and he was doing these mods and whatnot, it was on YouTube, I wonder if he could just tell them to fuck off. And the reason I say that is because there's a YouTuber who, and in fact, this YouTuber is Scottish or Irish, one of the two, I remember. And it had to do with called Totally Not Mark. And Toei Animation, the rights holders for Dragon Ball, shut down his entire channel for doing Dragon Ball reviews and having Dragon Ball artwork on there. His own original fan art of Dragon Ball that Toei had taken down because it wasn't fair use. His reviews weren't fair use. His Dragon Ball fan art videos, all that weren't fair use. And It was a fucking fight. He almost lost his life's work and everything on YouTube. But YouTube worked with him. They got into contact, and basically his Dragon Ball videos, they don't show up in Japan anymore. YouTube flipped the switch to turn his Dragon Ball videos off in Japan. Maybe his videos off entirely in Japan. I don't know. And he was able to maintain his channel beyond that. So this could just be Capcom bluffing. We know YouTube has the ability to shut this shit down in like region-specific areas. I wonder how this could turn out if he would have turned out if he had just told Capcom to piss off.
Actions. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation.
All right, Fractal. I'll just come out and say it. I don't care 99 times out of 100 what you say, what you do, what you type, the whole nine, as long as most of it's in TOS. What I don't want is you objectifying my fucking girlfriend while we're live streaming. It's that simple. So you do that, I'm gonna time you out. You do it again, I'll make it permanent. I don't give a fuck. You mean less than nothing to me. Hopefully that answers that.
In this matter, I encourage you to address it properly. Best regards, Capcom. And that is not everything that happened.
But yeah, so on top of that, while I was doing that, I received a termination on my account. So YouTube randomly, with their AI wisdom, decided to terminate my channel for about 10, 20 minutes. We then appealed it. I said I was deleting videos and did nothing wrong.
All right, I guess I'll make it permanent then. Don't say I didn't give you a chance. You didn't have to argue. Let's see. How do you use on this channel? There it is. Sucks to suck. I gave you the chance, bro. You had to argue.
They reinstated my channel. You know, they reinstated it.
So this is what the email says. Hi, Grisso UK. We have reviewed your content and found severe or repeated violations of our sex and nudity policy.
Yes, I done diddly did it. I don't make threats I ain't gonna follow up on, Ronan.
Because of this, we have removed your channel from YouTube. So they're bringing up the same thing that Capcom said in his email, which now would explain why he said, 10 minutes after I was in the process of deleting all the videos, immediately YouTube deleted my channel. And I told them, hey, I'm in the process of deleting.
Oh, Leslie, did you send a super? Yeah, you may have sent a super at a bad time. Let me read that. I owe you $5 for something. Can't remember why. I just know I do. Here's $5. Well, thank you, homie. I appreciate the 5-banger. I don't know either. Do we have a bet going or something? If we had a bet, I don't remember. Or maybe you're just saying, shit. Either way, I appreciate the 5-banger, homie.
Everything that Capcom was complaining about. And only after that, they give him back his channel. Is this how much power developers have to
I don't think it's how much power developers have. If I had to wager a guess, real quick, because again, let's go to Totally Not Mar's channel, because that's a good comparison. Let's see how many subs he has. He has over 1 million subs. What's this other guy's name? Grizzo UK. I think Sevi said he had like 200,000 subs. Yeah. YouTube has the power to take Grizzo's side, because they did with Totally Not Mark, and as they should have. He was completely in the right in terms of everything on his channel. Everything. He did not break. Now again, he may have broken Japanese rules, but YouTube ain't a fucking Japanese company. So YouTube has the ability to take Grizzo's side on this as well. I do not think that Capcom has any more power than, say, Toei Animation. They're both just still Japanese companies. But I bet they didn't take his side because he doesn't bring in enough revenue. He's not a big enough account, so it wasn't worth it for them optically. That would be my guess. That or Grizzo didn't pursue it hard enough like Totally Not Mark did. Didn't get enough support on social media. Didn't rile up the machine enough. Things like that.
Shut down YouTubers if they don't like something we're saying or they don't like that we mod the games?
And by the way, D-Stock, I might call you out and whatnot, and again, I do it to anybody in chat I disagree with, and get all up, say spaghetti and shit. I very, very, very rarely ban people. And I didn't intentionally ban him. I just permanently hit his comments. You can technically still watch and stuff. But yeah, no, I don't ban people. I think if you count what I just did with Fractal there, which again wasn't even technically a ban, I think it'd be the 4th person in the entire lifetime of this channel, not counting spam bots.
And he explains why he's concerned. Based on what precedent this sets, I think we should all be concerned.
I'm not allowed to do Resident Evil mods no more without the threat of legal action. So this is a dangerous precedent if I'm the only one targeted. I asked them the question, why am I being single-handedly targeted here? Why are you not going after any of these channels and Patreons?
You really cannot hate censorship enough. And again, every research I have done on this issue in terms of the videos that Grizzle UK was putting out, there were characters in skimpy clothing.
I hadn't considered this, but so when she brings up censorship, I didn't think about this until this point. It's because the characters in skimpy clothing. Because I was relating it to the Totally Not Mark stuff and like how YouTube has the ability for XYZ. And the Totally Not Mark comparison is still a really good comparison because they are both, again, he's either Scottish or Irish. Point is some sort of UK, just like, well, obviously Grizzle UK. However, that Totally Not Mark stuff was 2-ish years ago, and it was about, fan art and reviews. I highly doubt, given how, just ridiculous and censorship heavy and objectify this, feminism this, the UK is, I bet they wouldn't go to bat for Grizzo like the support for Totally Not Mark was. Didn't even consider that until she brought that point up.
They were not nude or naked or doing anything inappropriate. We all know, we all have seen many people play a lot of games, including Stellar Blade. And hey, some of the costumes in Stellar Blade are kind of skimpier. But overall, Capcom put his foot down and said no more. Or, of course, they would come out after you legally. Because his channel was taken down by YouTube. I really do believe that YouTube, as he said, allowed him to have his channel back only because he was deleting the videos, just like Capcom wanted. 2 years ago, Capcom made it very clear how they felt about modding games. This is a video from 2023.
では、ここからは実際のチート海賊版対策について。
Okay, so can you guys see the subtitles? Yeah, okay. My donut bar is blocking. You can see the subtitles. So I'm not going to bother reading this.
お話しします。チート海賊版対策用にプロジェクトソフトウェアの存在があります。
Now this is an article.
I mean, to be fair, it's about anti-cheat stuff. I feel like that is a little different. It didn't, unless I'm misunderstanding it or misinterpreting it, it doesn't seem like it's about all mods. It's just anti-cheat. And Capcom does have online games like Monster Hunter and whatnot where that could be abused. We'll see.
From 2023 where Capcom expresses concern.
I fucking forgot about this. God damn it. Alright, let's do it.
Over mods that are, quote, offensive to public order and morals. The article states, Capcom has publicly expressed concern about the use of mods in its PC games, saying that they could potentially lead to reputational damage. Capcom...
That's interesting. What are the odds that Capcom uses the exact same legal argument that Visa and MasterCard have been using to get shit taken down off Steam? In fact, as those of you guys that have been watching me for a while would know, the exact same legal argument they were using back in 2024 in Japan, where Capcom's based, to get completely legal manga apps and websites taken down. We're not talking piracy. We're talking legal paid subscription apps where you can read manga. Taken down by Visa and MasterCard because of the reputational damage argument. Interesting that Capcom, a Japanese company, is using that exact same terminology.
research and development team uploaded a video presentation as part of an open conference that Resident Evil Maker hosted in October of 2023. The presentation, titled Anti-Cheat and Anti-Piracy Measures in PC Games, Recommendations for an In-House Production, emphasizes how to curb cheating.
Visa lost one of them. They succeeded in the other. One of those manga sites got restored because they did it to at least 2. I reported on 2 different manga sites that got taken down. One of them permanently got shut down. The other one did get restored.
And piracy in any games that the company releases on PC. At some point during the presentation, it focuses on PC mods, which the presenter insists are a way of cheating. Mods are popular with users because they allow them to add or change various features to an existing game. However, for the purposes of anti-cheat and anti-piracy, all mods are defined as cheats.
Well, that changes what I said 5 fucking minutes ago. I was like, it seems they're talking about, anti-cheating and whatnot. I didn't remember this being the case. All mods are defined as cheats. If that's the case, if that's the case, why hasn't Capcom gone after Nexus mods? Because Nexus mods allows you to get the Resident Evil mod installer. I bet it still does. Let's take a quick gander. Alright, let's just go to wait, where's the search function? Here it is, search function. Resident Evil 4, let's see. You know what? It's real dangerous to scroll Nexus mods live. Let's just do this. Mod manager. Perfect, yeah. Resident Evil Engine Ultimate Mod Manager, or the Fluffy Mod Manager, which this is the Resident Evil Mod Manager right here. It's the Fluffy Mod Manager. Don't know why the fuck it's called that. But why are you going after a YouTuber? I mean, like, oh, well, all mods are cheats. But you haven't gone after the fucking website that hosts the Mod Manager? Exactly, Junebug. The bias of Capcom is showing. Interesting. Very interesting.
He explained that unless mods are officially supported by the game, any unofficial support or mods created by users and uploaded to places like Nexus Mods constitute as cheating by the publisher. While he did admit that a majority of mods can have a positive impact on the game, he also explained how they are a double-edged sword, with some mods posing a threat to the company's image and causing reputational damage.
No gamer on the face of the fucking earth has ever said, I was going to buy this game, but because it can be modded to have the girls in bikinis, I'm no longer buying a single game from this company ever again. I love the Japs, but sometimes they're so fucking dumb. And to be fair, this isn't necessarily a Japanese thing inherently. This is a product of the woke Western DEI-infested mind virus infiltrating these artistic institutions within Japan. That's what it actually is. But that's neither here nor there.
There are a number of mods that are offenses to the public.
Correct,
order,
Ronan,
and
exactly.
morals. And when these are disseminated, the image of the product is tarnished and the branding is affected. At a glance, you could infer the presenter is mentioning mods that provide nudity or sexually suggestive outfits to playable characters and NPCs, but he explained that malicious mods could cause additional workload for the development team, as some mods cause performance issues or result in a player losing save data.
And don't fix the game. Don't fix it. There's a pretty fucking easy middle ground here. Hey, you bought the thing, you attempted to mod it, you fucked it up. Sounds like a you problem. Like, if you modded your Wii, which by the way was illegal. I got a buddy that got in a lot of trouble for modding his Wii. If you mod your Wii, Nintendo isn't entitled to fix that shit if you fuck it up.
Time and resources spent dealing with such mods could cause potential delays in the production of a game or delays to support players who never modded the game to begin with. So then we come to what's happening right now, which is Capcom has forced a YouTuber to remove more than 1,000, quote, adult-oriented mod videos. Again, basically just sexy clothing. That's what they were wearing. Sexy clothing. And
sexy clothing on females. Again, on females. I would like to remind you guys, again, don't want to, just in case, because we're going back to Nexus mods here. Trying to be smart about this. Alrighty, this mod's allowed. Captain America Leon. You know, that would hypothetically be a copyright infringement, right? Wouldn't this be a copyright infringement? There's no Disney license involved. Lone Wolf, you modded your Wii and never got... Well, so what happened? My buddy mod his Wii had, like, hundreds of games installed on it, the whole nine. But the thing is, if you mod your Wii, you cannot get... You never update it, because if you update my Wii, it sends the info to Nintendo or whatnot. After 2 or 3 years of having a modded Wii, so this would have been like 2010-ish, something like that, 2011, his dumbass little brother updated the Wii when an update push got sent out. Yeah, dude got fined a bunch of fucking money. What about some of these other mods? Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. They don't seem to have a problem with Lena Kennedy turning Leon into a woman. They don't seem to have an issue with that. It's interesting how they're only going after the sexy mods. The sexy female mods, I should, by the way, add. Whole fucking thing is rigged. Capcom does not deserve your money in any way, shape, or form.
And he was not the only one, because you might remember their article from Kotaku.
Maybe it was sent in for repair, Cyborg. I don't remember the details. It was so fucking long ago, but maybe it was sent in for repair. Maybe the update bricked it or something. I think that might be what it was. The update bricked the modded Wii.
Where they were talking about Leon and how they were modding the game with Leon and how they wanted him to be in really poor health so they could hear his grunts and moans. We all remember that. I'm still trying to forget about it. But you know what? If a gay-ass person from Kotaku wants to mod their game, whatever.
Absolutely agreed. Might hate those weird-ass motherfuckers from Kotaku, but they got rights just the same as anybody else. It's unfortunate. They shouldn't. But they do. She's correct.
But I don't see Capcom sending an email to Kotaku telling them to fuck the hell off. No. What Capcom did is sent an email to Grizzle UK and tell him, pull down those videos or else.
And it's because he was an easy target. See, that's why they don't actually go after Nexus Mods. Because Nexus Mods is based in the UK. I'm pretty sure, I think. I want to make sure before I say that. Is Nexus Mods based in the UK? Yes, okay, that's what I thought. So Nexus Mods based in the UK. Capcom could hypothetically go after Nexus Mods for hosting these mods, hosting the Resident Evil Mod Manager, but if I was willing to guess, they would find the single individual on YouTube to be an easier target than the actual company itself that is Nexus Mods. Just a guess, but I'd be willing to bet that is it.
And again, it wasn't just Resident Evil, it was also Street Fighter. The cases that are out there have not addressed the fact that you can mod a game to change its cosmetics. So we have, for example, Nintendo of America v. Storman, in which, in that case, Nintendo sued the operator of the website called rumuniverse.com for copyright and trademark infringement, as well as unfair competition, due to the distribution of unauthorized copies, also known as ROMs, of Nintendo video games.
Did this bitch just say ROMs instead of ROMs? Sevy, what are you doing? You're a gamer. You know they're called ROMs. What the fuck?
The court found that the defendant, Storman, directly and vicariously infringed Nintendo's copyrights by uploading and distributing unauthorized copies of the video games, and also infringed on Nintendo's trademarks by using them to promote the unauthorized games. The court granted summary judgment in favor of Nintendo and awarded statutory damages and issued a permanent injunction, effectively shutting down the website and the distribution of the unauthorized copies. We also have Sony Interactive Entertainment LLC v. Scales, where Sony sued an individual who was marketing and selling jailbroken or modded PlayStation 4 consoles that were preloaded with pirated games and instructions.
Now, I will say, this is one of the things, like, people crawled up my ass for this when it came to the Nintendo Switch 2. When I made this same argument, people were up in arms about the whole, like, because you remember when the Switch 2 was announced and the TOS came out and they were like, oh, you know, we can turn off your service, we can brick your Switch 2 if you mod it, this, that, and the other. I was like, that's been normal since the Wii and Xbox 360 era. That was both. That was in the terms of service. I don't remember about the PS3, but I know for sure that was in the TOS of Microsoft with the Xbox 360 and with the Nintendo Wii. So this isn't a new thing. That doesn't mean I'm agreeing with it when I say it, but I found the outrage about the Switch 2 having that rule being so disingenuous because this has been a thing since, what, the 7th gen? That would have been 7th gen, right? But people just didn't know. And so when I was explaining, it's like, why are you mad about this now when this has been the case for the Wii and 360, the Wii U and the Xbox One, all that.
And how to further circumvent the PlayStation. The court found that
Correct, Chud King. That you were one of the few people who know that. Yes, initialism is when it doesn't make something that you say, and acronyms are when you pronounce it. Laser, scuba, ROMs. Exactly. I correct people on that so fucking often.
defendant's actions violated the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and Sony's copyrights, and granted default judgment, including statutory damages as well as a permanent injunction. In these two cases, again, they are actually selling different games illegally. None of these have been about using custom mods to change how a character looks. In United States.
Now the question is, and Seb, if you're still watching, maybe you can answer it. Because I have no idea. But I would imagine, I think I know the answer, I should say. Since you're not purchasing the game, you're purchasing a license for the game. As opposed to, GOG, you get the actual, .exe file and whatnot. They could do nothing legally to you if you, actually had the exe file, right? But they can because it's the license. Am I understanding that proper? You're the lawyer, let me know.
States versus Reichert, that was a criminal case where the government charged an individual for trafficking in mod chips that circumvented technological protection measures in video game consoles. So again, we're talking about a hard copy of a console to allow the user to play pirated or unauthorized games, which circumvented the paying.
Oh, I thought she said she just got off a work call.
For a game. The court upheld the conviction under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and emphasized that trafficking in such a technology is a criminal offense when done willfully and for commercial gain.
And that's always been the case. That's nothing new. Again, this is a product of Capcom. Man, I may have been wrong earlier. When I said this is a product of Capcom's modern, postmodern, westernized agenda, maybe I'm wrong, because Nintendo of Japan hasn't really had that issue. And they might have it now, but historically hasn't had that issue, and they were still always incredibly litigious. Same with Toei Animation and the Totally Not Mark stuff. So maybe this is just them. I don't fucking know.
The companies themselves have an interest in making sure that they're selling their games, that they're selling their consoles and they're not being pirated. This is not the situation.
What's going on? Oh, I was asking if, let's say you have a game, that you bought a game from GOG, so you actually have the .exe file, as opposed to a license. They wouldn't be able to do shit. It's specifically because you have a license to the game, not an actual ownership of the game itself. I was asking if that's why they can get away with this shit. Yeah? Okay. Also, a client got a visit from ICE? Whoo, that's funny. Can't wait to hear about that later.
Situation that we're talking about. We are simply talking about an individual who changed the cosmetics on a game, which could have been the costume, could have been the music, it could have been how the character looks, like having a different character, that is not part of the franchise, like we saw earlier today. It could be many, many things. And now this is the hill that Capcom wants to die on.
And unfortunately, dude, if this was Ubisoft, people would be breaking their back to fucking destroy this. If this were Activision Blizzard, if this were Bethesda, but because it's fucking Capcom, and because they've been on a generational run lately, even though the games are dog shit, because it's a Japanese company, people are going to give this a pass. Oh, well, you shouldn't have modded the game. Because they like the games Capcom's been putting out, they'll defend it. No fucking standards amongst these people. No fucking standards. And you can call me a hypocrite because I had Pragmata and I plan on playing it and whatnot, but I wasn't going to fucking buy it. It was gifted to me, so it's a little bit different, so I will. I've not purchased a Capcom game since Resident Evil 4 Remake, and I swore off Capcom after that in terms of giving them my money.
They are.
And yes, Mervoth, correct. There's no company worth defending like that. Exactly.
Are telling gamers, how dare you change what we want our characters.
Isn't it the same with all fanboys? Well, here's the dealio, Lessus. And this is something I've noticed about gamers that are upset spaghetti about modern AAA gaming. They keep bending over backwards to give Japan as a whole a fucking pass. And Square Enix might be the one exception. People ain't really giving Square Enix a pass. People pretty upset spaghetti with Square Enix. But aside from them, oh, it's Japan, so it must be good. Oh, it's Japan, so it must be based. Oh, Japan still allows hot women. Shut the fuck up. So many modern gamers they'll stand their moral ground when it comes to censorship, when it comes to talking about American stuff. But then they will bow and kowtow and suckle at the fucking teat of these Japanese developers that are the exact fucking same. And yeah, D-Stock, Capcom used to be my favorite as well. Capcom used to be my favorite as well. But for whatever reason, American gamers, and Western gamers in general, not just American, but Western gamers in general, for whatever reason, will bend over fucking backwards to defend these Japanese companies, even though they're butt-fucking them just as much as the American ones. But they live in this delusion that, oh, things are better coming from the East. No!
So look, but if you have noticed one thing, is that they're not going against Akea mods.
Vagabond says Bandai Namco. Exactly. Dude. Bandai Namco, Konami, Capcom, Square Enix, at least Nintendo of America. I don't think Nintendo of Japan, they hadn't last time I checked. Things could have changed. All take BlackRock, Raytheon, Vanguard, State Street, money for all of them. Again, Nintendo of Japan, I don't know, but Nintendo of America for sure. And then, but the other four, Capcom of Japan, Square Enix of Japan, Bandai Namco, Koei Tecmo. All of them, all the Japanese parent companies and home bases have taken BlackRock and State Street money.
They're not going against Nexus mods. They're not.
That's what I said!
Going against NVIDIA. NVIDIA announced a DLSS 5, which they described as an AI-powered breakthrough in visual fidelity for games. What NVIDIA ended up doing here is they ended up changing how the characters look, how the graphics look. Because
I didn't even think about this comparison. And my DLSS 5 video, which fucking flopped, nobody fucking watched it. It was lukewarm. I was like, I don't really care one way or the other because I feel like we don't have enough information yet. The product won't be going to market for several years, So we'll just have to see how it plays out. I had a super lukewarm take. I didn't even consider this as a fucking as an argument.
According to them, you don't need a mod. All you need is an NVIDIA app. But what DLSS is actually doing is doing the work of a mod. Hyperrealism. But we all know Capcom did not go after NVIDIA. No, because what
Capcom got in bed with NVIDIA. Damn, great take.
Knew was gonna be better to do was to go.
What was Sevi more of a gamer than Leon confirmed? Actually, that's true. I'm not even gonna fight it. That is actually true. She is like I'm a gamer. I'm actually quite impressed by the type of gamer she is. Yes, Sevi is more of a gamer than I am.
After YouTubers and gamers, let's get real here. We know what happened. We know what Capcom did. We know who YouTube sided with. So keep this in mind. Big ass corporation comes down on small YouTuber because he dared use clothes on a character that looks sexy. That's all he did. And YouTube terminated his channel immediately. I have to wonder if the only reason...
Okay, I will not take that abuse. Sevi cannot play shooters and read chat at the same time. You ever wonder why Sevi always has a motherfucker on stream with her even if you can't see him? It's so that motherfucker, whether it be me, whether it be any of the others, so they can read chat while she games. Don't let her psyop you, motherfuckers. You think Nozaku was just there to hang out, bitch? It's so that he can fucking... Yeah. They gonna say that you can play shooters and chat at the same time? I'm gonna call you out, woman.
Why he won that appeal was because he said, hey, I'm in the process of deleting all these videos. Every time we have seen companies take such hard stances on this, only one thing gets weaker. And that is fair use.
Wrong. I actually completely disagree. Two things get weaker. Yes, fair use is one of them. But gamers' resolve. Gamers' resolve gets weaker. Again, not you guys in chat, because you're here listening to me. You're listening to Sevi. You're listening to Hypno. Y'all are cool. You're chill. But by and large, the regular motherfuckers, they'll accept this, and then they'll buy the next piece of Capcom Corpo slop. Fair use be damned, because they really want to enjoy the cute robot daddy game. Hey, I was watching Sevi play the other night. It's an adorable game. I'm really looking forward to playing it. I wouldn't have fucking bought it.
Fair use protects commentary, criticism, and transformative content. If companies start pushing creators to delete videos outside of very clear legal violations, then the line will start to disappear. The real consequences are very simple.
Now again, Sevi, you said you were away on a work call when I started reacting to this, so you might not have heard me say it. Japan doesn't have fair use at all. They have zero fair use laws whatsoever. In fact, they are ardently against fair use. So that's why Capcom thinks they can flex like this. So then it just boils down to whose side does YouTube take. And that's the worst part, is that they're siding with Japan. Now, and I don't know what the UK's fair use laws are, so there's that, but...
Smaller creators are gonna get scared.
You're gonna want to go back and watch the beginning of this reaction later, Seb, because there's a few things that I cleared up and drew some comparisons to that you might find really interesting.
And they're gonna stop posting. Voices that criticize the game, they're going to disappear. And then the only content that is gonna be out there is gonna be curated, safe content that follows that corporate-friendly line they want to push. And then suddenly we just don't have a gaming community anymore because of censorship. Censorship destroys the gaming culture. Censorship destroys the real narrative.
All roads lead back to Gamergate, baby. All roads lead back to Gamergate. Year's 2014. We find out some dumb sluts are trying to censor hot bitches in video games. They're fucking around with their fucking journalists and stuff for good reviews. And next thing you know, we find out that the fucking Democratic Party orchestrated hate crimes in Charlottesville and we're invading Venezuela. You just didn't have to fuck with gamers 14, 12 years ago. And here we are, you brought this on yourselves, you dumb cunts.
And all that is left is just corporate marketing. That is it. Now, there is a difference of, say, a company trying to protect their assets. If they want to protect against leaks, piracy, that makes sense. But when do they cross the line? And does this cross the line for you?
And you know what? I would still disagree, but I would at least understand if they'd say, like I was saying earlier, gone after Nexus mods. But since that's not what they're doing, they're picking the easy fights to send a message. Going after little individual YouTubers instead of the fucking companies running these mod sites. And again, I don't want them to, well, I actually wouldn't give a fuck if we lost Nexus mods. Nexus mods is a joke. They're just as evil and censorious as these corporations. The point is, at least then, there would be a maybe something legally understandable. It's like, hey, they've said that mods are cheating. It's in the terms of service, so they're going to go after sites that host the mods. I would still disagree, but it would at least make fucking sense. But taking the easy battles, striking down just individual YouTubers they know can't fight back, fucking sickening.
Because for me, this does. At this point, when you have already bought the game and you're just making it better, or you're transforming the content for lols, or you're transforming the content because you don't like the way a character looks, you're not violating their IP. I looked. There are no cases on this. This is not something.
And you want to know why there's no cases on this? Because I can actually give you the answer. I ain't no lawyer, but I can give the answer on this because it's something I've looked into. Now, again, I don't know how it works in the UK, but the reason there's no cases on it in America is because our fair use laws supersede the lack of the Japanese ones. The American government will step up and say, yeah, exactly, in America, right. Yeah, well, and that's just, I knew what you meant, Sev, but I'm clarifying for the chat in case they didn't know. Our fair use laws supersede, shout out, thanks for the sub, Mr. Templey, supersede their lack of fair use laws. That's why when the UK tried to threaten to get 4chan shut the fuck down, literally just a few months ago, a bunch of US lawyers said, nah, suck it, bitch. And the UK government, the entirety of the UK government had to bow and kowtow to this one fucking lawyer. Okay. Because you can't do shit.
That has gone up to litigation. It's not a clear and easy answer. But now the question is, where are we drawing the line? And where will you draw the line? My opinion, censorship is wrong and needs to go away. There is a very clear distinction between protecting your IP and then making sure that every single opinion out there is curated. But that's
absolutely unfathomably based.
That's not the gaming culture. That's not what the gaming culture is all about. The gaming culture is about talking about games, saying what you like and what you don't like, and how to improve it and make it better. Let me know in the comments below where you think the line should be drawn, because this situation is more than just Capcom, and it's more than just Grizzly UK. Situation is bigger. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will talk to all of you guys later. Bye, everybody. Capcom.
Excellent video. Excellent video. Y'all know the drill. Dropping it in the chat. Make sure you give a like, leave a comment, the engagement, all of that. Proof that I get a like right there. I won't be called out for nothing later. Proof that I liked the video right there. It's doing good. Considering Sev only just got into doing videos instead of just the live streams, very well done. 349 views. That's awesome. Pump those fucking numbers up if you guys haven't watched this video yet. Shout out. Iranian communists can kiss my hairy Guatemalan ass. Based. Line must be drawn here no further. Fuck that. Erase the line, run the opposite direction, and redraw the line. Am I done with the anime video? I have about a minute of the video left to edit, which will probably take me about an hour or two. I almost finished it last night. It was about 4 a.m. and I was like, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. So it will be out, fingers crossed, tomorrow. Friday at the latest, but fingers crossed it'll be out tomorrow. Have I watched? I'm not even gonna watch the trailer for Clayface. I don't give a fuck about Clayface. I don't watch superhero movies anymore. I don't watch them homo-ass superhero movies anymore. Thought that guy earlier. Thank you for bringing that up, Chud King. Because fuck y'all in my Discord. Fuck y'all in my Discord. Let's see. Where'd it go? Right here. I think you have a long-lost twin, bro. And it's this John Wolfe guy. Parents got some explaining to do. So between Hayden Asmongold, AJ Styles, now this guy, I'm starting to realize I'm one hell of a basic-looking motherfucker. And now you had that British dude. Fuck, dude. I'm such a basic-looking motherfucker. Fuck you, Matt. Fuck you. A minute editing takes an hour. Well, so this is a very, very highly edited video. Very, like, it is the most edit-intensive video I've probably ever done. I'm not gonna be doing videos like these very often. So, y'all motherfuckers better show up or show out, right? Look, when this anime tourist video drops tomorrow, you motherfuckers better watch that shit. Because there ain't no goddamn way that 16 hours of editing, scripting, recording, re-recording, and re-editing, because I didn't like the initial version. Yeah, you bitches better watch the fucking video tomorrow. Just saying. Maybe I should cut my hair so someone says, like, Leon, fuck you, War Wizard. Yeah, the blood and sweat for Leon did this video. Dude, you ain't lying, son. You ain't lying. Yes, the goal is to have it out tomorrow. Okie dokie, will not watch. Thanks, Chud King. Appreciate you, homie. Alrighty. Alrighty, we got one more video to do. One more video. My psyop is working. I mean, y'all knew we couldn't do a lunch hour without reacting to a VTuber, right? You knew we couldn't do a lunch hour without reacting to my girl Leaflet, right? Let's go, son!
Okay, so I never, like, me personally, I was never a huge fan of, like, idol stuff. Like, to be honest. Like, just the whole idol culture and all that.
But you streamed with someone named Leon Idol. I'm hyped.
I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I 100% understand the power it has, right? Because it crits dudes. Like, it just does. It not just dudes, like women, too. It crits everybody.
I don't know what the lead up to this conversation was, but it is kind of hilarious considering the way that VTuber fans at nowadays, and no shade, I'm not knocking you guys whatsoever, because I'm slowly becoming one myself, but it's pretty much the modern day idol culture. The video I put out yesterday is now like in the top 7 or 8 most viewed videos on my entire channel. I've released over 1,000 videos. Yesterday's video is now in the top, like, I think 6 of any video I've ever done. Motherfuckers in the comments are all like, saw Smugglana, so I clicked. Hey, look, Smugglana reaction. Click. Dude, VTuber fans is the modern day idol culture.
Like, it's like ultra powerful weapon, right? And like, I just wasn't into it. Like, all of the culture and stuff like that, right? And the reason why I wasn't into it is because I wasn't into, like, what it means, right? Like, I wasn't into, like you know, like the industry, and then like the whole, you know, like the whole like ultra, what's the word? I guess like parasocial would be like the term, like that, and then just the whole, I don't know, man. I was just not a fan of like all of like the ego and all of it, all of the psychosis. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. And like I'm not like, I don't hate it as in like I think it should not happen. It just wasn't for me. Does that make sense? Like I'm totally fine with other people being into it. That's like you know, you like that, you know, that's your thing. You know, some people drink, some people watch hentai, some people like, I don't know.
For the record, I only do one of those things she mentioned, and it's not watching hentai.
Get obsessed with idols, like whatever, right? I don't care. It has nothing to
Gord says, I'm gonna find someone to turn my character into a VTuber. I want to be YouTube's ultimate waifu. Gord, I think that'd be a really cool VTuber model. I do. Just like, especially your old school, like, Pumpkin King avatar. I think you could turn that into a sick-ass VTuber model, bro.
do with me. But I realize it's very, very...
I do swear it's not hentai. In fact, there's somebody in the chat right now who has a show that might be called I Swear It's Not Hentai. Mods, do me a favor and drop Vagabond's channel in the chat, please. I do have mods here, right? Please tell me I have mods here. Pretty sure I have mods here. If not, I'll fucking do it myself, but... I know Gal Carry Mon was here earlier. Yeah, Gal Carry Mon. Thank you. Yeah, drop Vagabond's channel in the comments, in the chat, please.
Very powerful, right? And like the thing is that I like the Precure idol stuff, right? Like I'm a huge fan of like, you know, like these, like but anyway, so you know, but
what was that?
Like these, like
Copyright is wonderful. Know the feeling, girly. I know the feeling. Oh my god, I haven't even ran my video through the copyright search yet to see if anything gets flagged. I might have even more editing to do that I don't realize. Guys, pray for me.
But anyway, so you know, before I go into like a 3-hour Precure tangent,
that's true, Digital Renegade.
So it's not even that. It's more like, you know, it's more like the industry. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I hate the cute dancing and the singing, like that.
Is this? I didn't know this when I clicked on it to react to it. I might get a shout out in this because I'm pretty sure I raided into this stream. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I raided into this stream while she was live.
It's great. I love that. I don't really like the whole industry behind it. You know, like the industry, the scandal, like all of that, like weird kind of like dark stuff. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, right? And so anyway, I was thinking about it and I was like, man, this is like really, really strong stuff. And this is after I watched the Precure. Remember we watched like a bunch of Precure endings like a couple days ago, right? And we were watching it and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm having such a great time. Like we're all watching this together.
Okay, no. That was the stream I raided into, was when she was actually watching that stuff. War Wizard for a 2-banger. Is this the pre-core stream? I don't know if this is the pre-core stream or because I was watching her while I was editing. So I think she said I think this is a later video. Because she said, "Hey, do you remember that stream?" That was the stream I raided into. So never mind.
And I had an idea. I was like, "Wait, can I make a Precure?"
Thank you for the 2-banger, by the way.
AI? So like, I made one. Like, I did a test. I did a test animation, and I was like, actually, this looks pretty good. You know, this is cool. I like this. This is exactly what I wanted it to look like. This is perfect, right? And then I was like, okay, like, well, you know, then I started to think like, okay, like, what would I do if I were an idol? Like, say like there was a world in which like,
oh honey, you don't realize that you're already kind of there.
Leaflet became an idol, and like that was like my profession. Like I wasn't, you know, I wasn't a streamer. I was like an idol instead.
Yeah, Leaflet's
right?
the best.
Alternate reality.
Michael, I agree.
Like, what kind of shit would I sing about? And I was like, yeah, fuck Quangos. That's what I was saying about fuck them Quangos, right? And so like that's how this song got made. Is I was just like, okay, like let me like take this animation I have. And actually I only made the chorus, right? So the rest of it is like bad, honestly. But like I just made the chorus. That's the only part I really cared about. So like I ended up
To be fair, the chorus is the only part that anybody who listens to pop music cares about, so that checks out.
making this video. So I ended up making this video.
Starting the song with I hate the government is fucking perfection. Let's go. Banger! Banger! Let's go!
Anyway, so I made that video, and it was like so funny to me. Like I was like, dude, this is so fucking peak. Like, like this is amazing. Oh my god, so Malcolm, I saw you saw my new video. I saw you saw it. Did you see my school one, Malcolm? Look at my school one. Hold on. I made a bunch of these. This is my new arc, by the way. Like I'm all in on this because I'm talking right now. Actually, before I show it, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna keep saying.
I also hate the government. Me too's D-stock. Guys, for those of you that don't hate the government, like honest question. For those of you in my chat that don't hate the government, why the fuck are you here? Don't get me wrong. Don't go anywhere. I like the views, but I'm curious. Why the fuck are you here if you don't hate the government?
What I was saying, because like it's actually related. I think you'll like this. So anyway, I realized that the memetics of like idol stuff is insanely powerful. Like it is a powerful psyop, right? Like the whole idol thing. Like people see it and it crits people's brains. I don't know what it is, but it blows up both women and men's brains like equally. And I'm like, what is this? This is crazy. Right? It even blows up my brain. Like when I watch this Precure stuff, right? So I'm like, what? And so anyway, so that's why I was theory crafting. Like, what if I were like, what would I do? What would I sing about? And I was like, I'd sing about this stupid shit. That's what I would sing about, right? So anyway, that's how I made the video. And so like, I made the video, I posted it, and there was a lot of
suck of a dick. That's
reception.
fair.
People were like, well, I love this. This is like, this is great. I love this art. And I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, hold on. Are you telling me I can harness the power of idols to like psyop everybody and like tell them like can I amplify like my message, like the message I want in the world, my memetics? Can I amplify it like using idol, like using the idol thing? Like can I become like a virtual idol and just push that stuff? And I was like, oh my god, nobody's doing this. I was like, dude, nobody's doing this. And
some people are coming close, though. Like, there was this thing that was revealed not too terribly long ago about this, like, completely fake AI-generated, like, MAGA hot bikini girl or whatnot. That's in the same vein.
If I was an...
Or dude, Amelia. Amelia was kind of like a virtual idol, right? Especially after Skybrows put out the Amelia and Amelia's song. People have been getting close, but yeah, the leaflet might be like really tapping into the apex of it.
Idol, I would totally do this. So like we are building the alternate ecosystem absent songs and games, but yes, you can. You're the idol in this ecosystem. That's exactly what I was thinking, and I was like, okay, what's holding me back? What's holding me back here? Just preconceived notions of like, you know, not liking the industry. Well, fuck it, I can make my own thing because I don't have a boss. I don't have an idol manager telling me what to do. I don't have, you know, I don't give a shit about any of that, right? And it's like I don't have to do any of like the typical idol stuff, right? Which I don't care about either. I could just make up my own concerts because I have the power of AI. It's like, what's holding me back, right?
I have the power of God and AI on my side.
So it's like, okay, you know what? I made up my mind, guys. I'm the stellar humanist idol. That's it. That's who I am now. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do all the other stuff I'm doing. Like I'm going to do the commentary and all that. But I am going to do this music stuff too, and I'm going to crit everybody, and I'm gonna take over all of that, right? That's what you think you're literally doing it. I am doing it, and I've been putting a lot more resources into it. That's why I made like the baby video. It's like, oh my god, look at this. I made this one too. This is the recent one I made, Malcolm. I don't know if you saw this one. This is the most recent one. Right here.
Truth, dude. So that same buddy of mine that I was saying about earlier, the one that had his Wii had to pay the fine and whatnot for his modded Wii. He was in college when that happened, and I was telling him how fucking stupid he was for going to college, and because you know I dropped out of high school, so like what do I know? And he was honest. He's like, "What do you mean? How are you gonna get a good career, a good job?" And I'd like literally sit him down and explain to him how fucking college was a scam, and he didn't understand it. And then I shit you not, like a week later, his what's the speech and debate, like public speaking. That's what it was. Public speaking, professor, teacher, whatever the fuck you call him in college. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a high school dropout, so I'm retarded. Sent him home with a book to do to write a speech based around, and the book was called "The Case Against College." And so a week after me talking to him about how fucking retarded college was, and again, this is back in, I mean, the Wii days, sort of like 2010, 2011, something like that. A week later, his own fucking college teacher was looking like, yeah, dude, this is all a fucking scam. Base as fuck! Oh, we got a year. Dude, this is. I'm sorry, this one might be even better than the Fuck the Government song. How often you gonna get an idol singer bringing up Yuri Bezmenov? This is beautiful, boys. What are the numbers on these videos of hers? Well, this one's sitting at 45,000 views in a day. But I think you mean her other videos. Let's find out. Let's find out. Videos. Have Babies is at 53,000 views. Shit, I might need to react to some of these songs themselves. I'm not gonna do it today. Maybe we'll react to one tomorrow. I haven't heard Have Babies. Is this the only one she's posted? I'm not seeing any other. Maybe she posted them just to X or whatnot. Well, this one here has 53,000 views. So maybe, if you guys want, maybe we'll react to Have Babies on tomorrow's lunch hour stream. Yes, she was in my AI music video. Bro, modern anime be so fucking gay sometimes. This is the shit we need, son. This is the shit we need. If Japan never made another anime, first of all, we got like 60 years of anime backlog we can go through. We ain't missing anything. Just give us AI anime made by fucking people like Leaflet, and I'll be good to go. This is an opening to a banger song. This is an anime opening banger about, you know, like this slime girl that goes to college in another world, because it's obviously got to be an isekai, right? And then just like rejecting it and turning the college against like the normal social systems. This could be an anti-college revolution anime, but it can still keep all the aesthetics of like the school lifestyle anime. Let's do it. It's on our Spotify. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, to be fair though, in the full song, there's an entire part.
Plus, we would get to see Leaflet get hit by Truck Coon. Dude, we would get to see Leaflet get Truck Cooned, and I bet that would be funny as fuck.
About how, like, if you're doing STEM, then, like, you're probably okay. There's an entire part about that, about, like, okay, well, if you're into STEM, like, okay, you know, it's probably fine for you. But if you're into, like, liberal arts stuff, you're probably getting scammed, right? So, anyway, did I sing this? No. So what I did was I made a virtual, okay, guys, I'll tell you what I did. Okay, so I made a virtual...
No, but that's the thing. She's not a slime yet. She gets isekai'd into the world where she has to go to college, and she becomes a slime girl. So she starts off in the real world as a real human and whatnot, and then Truck Coon comes, and it turns her into the isekai slime girl.
Idol to sing everything for me. So I have a virtual, I have set up a virtual idol.
Tiger King, you're a fucking legend,
like,
homie.
Thing that basically, it sings everything in that exact same voice. So, like, everything is in the same voice, everything's in the same style, the same intonation. Yeah. So, like, any more bangers, like, put them in a box. I'll probably still make those just whenever I feel like it, right? Like, I kind of make, like, I'm gonna be real, I make whatever I want. It's kind of like...
Based.
Whatever I want, I mean...
That's exactly why I'm putting out that anime tourist video. It is not like my usual content at all. But I've been wanting to make this video for like a year. And I just finally said, fuck it, I'm doing it. And it's so time consuming, and it will probably perform like shit because it's not my usual stuff, so YouTube will not know how to place it algorithmically. Which is why I'm really, really, really relying on you guys to make it work. But yeah, I'm the same as her, just fuck it, do whatever the fuck I want. It doesn't make any sense for me to be a pop culture and political channel, but do analog horror stuff on Saturday nights. YouTube has no idea what to do algorithmically with that. Those streams perform like shit. Tinfoil Haters performs like shit. Don't fucking care. I do them anyway. It's the fuck I want to do.
She lost it? Wait, what? Wait, Powder saw it? Wait, where? On stream? Wait, when? I want to watch it. Wait, when? When did she watch it?
Next channel, so we're gonna watch it. It also says
Is that
instead
good?
of relying on immigrants, so I have a feeling it's gonna be a good video.
Is this the Make Babies song? It said Future for You. Is this the Make Babies song? Okay, alright, fuck. I don't want, because we'll actually react to the video tomorrow. I don't want to react to her reaction of it. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to end the reaction here. Sorry, Leaflet, I don't want to cut your content short. I don't like doing that to creators. But because I haven't heard the song yet, and I want to react to the actual song itself tomorrow, we're going to cut it here. And then, yeah, maybe we'll come back to her. That's a good idea. We'll come back to her reaction of it and whatnot after we've done the reaction tomorrow. That's what we'll do. Alright, so that's how we're going to end the stream, boys. It's 4:15. We've been going for about 3 hours, 15 minutes. I think that's a pretty solid stream. So here is the video, in case you guys want to give it a like and stuff. Split things up like you haven't get. Yeah, and that's probably the smarter way to go about it. I just don't want to build another channel from scratch again. But that is probably the smarter way to go about it. So what I might do is make a Tinfoil Haters channel. And I think this is the way you suggested, actually. And you're really smart to do so. And just re-upload the episodes, the live streams, to the Tinfoil Haters channel. That's probably the smart way to go about it. I just need to get off my lazy ass and actually fucking do it. Because you did ask me about that. Alright, let me see who we're rating. I haven't seen the Powder reaction yet. I don't know what you mean by I haven't seen the Powder reaction yet. I've never done a Powder reaction. I've actually never even seen Powder. Aside from maybe some clips on X, I don't know who she is. Because like, I follow Powder on X, and I see her tweets and stuff. And they're cool. They're good. I like them. But I've never seen a Powder video. If she ever does a video that you want me to react to that I think would make for a good reaction, then put it in the Discord. Alright, let's see who's live. Let's see. You know what? Let's raid Mia. Let's raid Mia. Mia's great. We're gonna raid Mia. Even though she completely fucking did not respond to the DM I sent her the other day about doing a Sonic thing together, but that's neither here nor there. Whatever, it's fine. Alright, we're gonna raid Mia. Mia, tell her Vital Idol raid, tell her Leon raid. Guys, you are absolute legends. Thank you so much for the donos. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. I will see you all tomorrow at the same time, 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. You better watch the video tomorrow, the anime tourist video, because it will be finished. You got my word. It has to be. It has to be. I can't keep putting this off. And I would love to hear what you guys think. So, we're going to raid. I want you to tell her Vital Idol raid, Leon raid. And until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. And this has been Words of Paradise.